You are live. Yes, thank you, YouTube, for bringing us back again and not absolutely cancelling us after the last one. I don't think we were too bad last one, were we, guys? We were kind of
the one before was pretty horrific, though.
Yeah, that was our last Facebook one. So that
yeah. I don't really remember the one before. I drank quite lightly last week.
Yeah, it was the one before the Lady Killers episode where you nominated Lady Killers, and I remembered it because Tom Hanks rented a room off a black woman. I remembered it before when I was looking for my pick of the week.
Yeah,
and it's enforced my pick of the week, but it cropped up on IMDb as I was scrolling through, and I literally burst out laughing because I literally had a flashback to that live. Like, horrified, and also, wow, that is fucking hilarious. But yeah, how are we doing, Nick?
That was good. Yeah, yes, we're doing really well. That was a weird way to start, wasn't it? Talking about the lady killers of blatant racism from Alan.
Well, it wasn't me that time. Wasn't it?
I don't know.
Not me that time, bruv. That was fully in Mike's court. That one.
Yeah.
I'm still going to blame you, Alan. Anyway, it's just
obviously I would standard practice in it. Just blame Al.
Most taken.
Should be on a t-shirt. Should be on a t-shirt. Just blame Al.
I'm definitely making that coming up next tomorrow.
I'd wear it with pride. I'd never wear anything else. You know.
Just blame Al.
Guys, welcome once again to another Red Lion Live. It's just, I guess it's kind of a podcast, but it's not really, is it? It's just we're just chatting shit, about stuff that we like because we can't see each other in person. That's
and drinking.
The description of this.
Yeah,
and drinking, exactly. My name's Nick, and I'm joined once again by my hosts. Let's start with yourself, Mr. Mike Good. Mate, you've done a bit of a different setup behind you today. Mate, talk us through.
No, I was going to change all my posters around, not posters, my artwork. But then I realised that they were actually kind of more secure than I thought they were going to be. And I was just like, Joe, what? That is far too much effort. And so I just put new stuff on my shelf.
Nice.
So I've got a truck here.
Yeah.
A Darth Vader lunchbox. Because yes, I am a giant child. A Rubik's Cube. I done one because I'm not undoing it because I won't be able to put it back together again. But so this makes it just look like I've done that. Yeah. Right? And the plastic gun.
Nice, mate. Man's got to keep his strap handy, innit? You never know.
Always.
Yeah, definitely. How quickly did you do that Rubik's Cube?
That quickly, it was like it has never been messed up.
Nice.
Like that Quicksilver quick. Literally I could see it. Yeah. Maybe Superman in the DCEU. I'm not sure.
Maybe. At a push. If he was on his best day kind of thing. If he'd had his Weetabix in the morning, you know what I mean? You'd have seen that shit. All right, fair enough. And also I'm joined by the marvellous Mr. Talent himself as well. And Alan, you're in a different location today.
I am. I'm downstairs today because I can't be in the bedroom because my wife's isolating.
Your wife's isolating.
She's got Rona. So
again, you had the Rona last time.
I had it last time. I was locked in my bedroom and we did the December talk about it special. And now Debbie's got it, so she's now locked in the bedroom and I'm downstairs.
Does she fully blame you for the Rona?
Nah, because she didn't get it when I had it. I locked myself in the bedroom. She didn't get it. The kids didn't get it, and then she just picked it up. I'm assuming she's picked it up. She only works 1 day a week. She works at the school, so she's only actually in school 1 day a week. And I'm assuming she's got it on Tuesday last week when she was in. But we're not. She could have picked it up from a delivery or something, I suppose. But fair enough. So she tested positive on Monday morning, which was just ace.
That's about. How is she doing? How's she keeping?
She's doing all right. She's tired a lot. Really. It took it out of her a lot more than it did when I had it. She's definitely got it worse. She's got more symptoms like cough and stuff like that. She keeps having flashes of temperature.
Do you think that's because she doesn't drink as much as you?
Possibly. She's just not got that resilience to fucking your body up.
Alcohol purges any germs, apparently.
Yeah, but it might genuinely be that my body is just used to feeling absolutely fucked over on a regular basis.
That's true.
And because she doesn't really drink an awful lot, her body's just like, we're healthy all the time, and then this is it.
She needs to live more of that red line life.
She really does.
She needs a dose of that. Yeah.
I can give her a diet, what she has to complete every day, and within a month, if she's not happy at the end of that month, she'll probably be dead. So I won't have to worry about it.
Yeah. I thought you was going to say, like, give her a full refund or something. Like, that's outrageous.
It really, really ramps up.
Fuck up your body. Oh, your money back.
Your money back. No.
Like the last day of the month just turns.
You'll be dead.
Yeah, right, you might just fully turned into a RoboCop advert. Like,
yeah.
I'm happy with that. I'd write those adverts all day if we could film them.
Yeah, 100% satisfaction guarantee or death.
But
yeah,
great stuff. Yeah, great. We have to make that a bit of a slogan. Definitely, we're joined as well by our some of our what should you call them? The usual fans, top fans, locals.
Local. I like that because we're Red Lion. It's a kind of a pub thing, isn't it? Yeah, locals is a great name for fans. Okay.
Yeah, great stuff. So we're joined by locals, yes. So we're joined by Amy and G. Hey,
don't do it.
Do it.
Stop.
Do it.
Hey, girl.
Yes. Use your aggression.
Oh, it gets harder every week, I tell you. It's like wearing the ring.
That's what she said.
Like in the ring. Oh, Jesus Christ. And as well, we're joined by Longhead Linda. If you're not too sure who Longhead Linda is, she used to do the Pod of Mercy podcast before she just decided she didn't give a fuck anymore. So we need to get back into that, actually, because she was really, really, really awesome at it, and it was amazing. She's not actually giving you guys an interview. I know we touched on this last time, but
she's not.
We guys wanted to figure out why that was. Like, she gave me.
She gave you an interview. There was something different about me and Mike that we couldn't quite put our finger on. I don't know what it was.
I think it's our diet.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, Nick does drink as much as us. So
do you know what I thought it was? I thought it was glasses, and I was like,
Yeah, but then it's not. That's not it. We all wear facial hair. No, that's not.
No,
not it.
No. I was going to say, like, Mike and I usually wear hats, but then Mike would have been brought on. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. One day we'll figure it out.
It'll come to us at some point. At some point,
we'll figure it out. Whatever. Okay, cool. So have you guys watched WandaVision? It seems like a stupid question, but have you?
Yes.
Have you watched Friday's episode of WandaVision?
The highlight of every Friday.
Modern Family theme. Are we all in agreement?
I thought it was more The Office. The theme, the music. Are you on about the tone of the actual show? It's very Modern Family.
Yeah. But it did have like a mockumentary feel. Like, I get that.
Yeah, it was a lot of talking heads and stuff like that.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Wow.
I'm so proud of you.
I don't know what she means by that at all. It must have
to know what that is.
Well, yeah, it felt like it was the ilk of like Modern Family, The American Office, Parks and Rec, that type of thing. But mostly Modern Family and mostly Claire. Is it the mum?
Yeah,
Modern Family.
In fact, I'm sure that's the Dunphy house. I'm so sure that's the Claire Dunphy household. Like, even that same house where the fridge was compared to where the stairs were, compared to where the living room was. I thought, it's just done like immaculately.
They changed the intern.
Yeah. I think it looks slightly. Obviously, there's bits that look slightly different. But when I looked at it, I was like, that could almost be the Dunphy house. It could almost be. But I think it was brilliantly done. I thought very Wonder heavy for the titles as well, because it was just Wonder right at the end. You got WandaVision for the title, which again speaks
created by Wanda Maximoff as well.
Exactly, created by Wanda Maximoff. So it was definitely her influence, because she didn't know where Vision was. So this episode, it was
she was keeping him away. She was purposely keeping him away, wasn't she?
She was keeping him away, yes, but she said to the kids,
Yeah.
If he doesn't want to be here, then that's fine.
Yeah, Linda agrees. Yeah, I definitely think it was a Dunphy house as well. But guys, just before we even get into it, what did we think of today's episode? Alan, actually, in fact, no, Mike, let me start with you, because I know Alan had certain expectations and that probably weren't met. So I think it'll go a bit deeper. But Mike, what did you think?
It's not the one of the better episodes, if you ask me. Like content-wise, it was slightly longer, which I appreciated it. That it was about 10 minutes longer. It felt like it was full of a lot of red herrings, like quite obvious ones as well. I think as well as not so obvious ones. Agnes, the neighbour, coming through for me is basically a witch. I'm into it. Obviously not the big boss. She's definitely working for someone else. I think we can all agree with that. I've been saying it's Mephisto for a long time. After we come off the live last week, Vicky was looking through and she was like, "Oh, what about Nightmare?" And I was like, "Oh, well, Nightmare's supposed to be the big bad in the Doctor Strange film, so I do like that tie-in. Deep down, I'm always going to wish it was Mephisto, but even if it's Nightmare, and that'll be very, very similar in. I wonder if they'd even combine the two, like character-wise, like.
They've done it
But
before,
that feels, but that feels like they'd be crossing off two rather sizable characters.
Yeah, two big bads. Because they've done it before in, I think, was it Whiplash and Crimson Dynamo? They combined into what just became Mickey Rourke's Whiplash, didn't they, in Iron Man 2? So, but they're two kind of nothing villains to just smush into one. So, like you say, if they do it with Nightmare and Mephisto, it's taking out too much. That you can use as a potentially fucking great villain for another film.
But I'm really, really not mad at Nightmare. Like, really, really not mad at it if it's Nightmare. At all.
Fair enough, but you felt overall it was a bit of a subpar episode.
I don't think there's such a thing as a subpar episode within this. Like, honestly, I think every episode's been really good. But if you're putting them into an order of which ones you think are the better episodes, I think it's probably about fourth. So it's like below halfway, but it's still really, really fucking entertaining. Watch, and the fact that it has got longer, which makes me think is the next episode going to be longer, like going forward,
sure,
to help build more things in. So like each episode is going to stretch, just even if it's just 10 minutes, like just to see if that last episode's going to be basically a small movie, like
just a full hour. Just get a full hour for the last episode. I'd be cool.
Which would be nice. I don't think anyone would complain, depending on what they cram into it, of course. Okay, so Alan, let's move to you. The reason why I saved you was to us, just because I know that you had certain expectations about, this potentially this episode, and obviously who Rambo would meet as well in this, and just other things kind of going forward in it. I mean, how did you feel about this overall?
I was really underwhelmed. Like, really, really disappointed. Like, it's the first one where I've watched it and actually been disappointed. And like Mike said, it like tonally and content. If the episode would have been earlier in the season, if it had been about episode 3 or 4, I probably wouldn't have been mad about it. But the fact that they've built up this astrophysicist that she's going to see, or engineer, that she's calling in, it's like they built it up and dropped the name in just as like a little kind of nugget for about 3 weeks, and then it turned, and I was like, it's got to be Reed Richards. And then Mike sent a message last night saying it could be Hank McCoy, which would be fucking sick. I'd be well happy with that, and it ties mutants in again. So I was dead excited for the episode. It turns up, it's just some fucking major from the army. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck? What's that about?
Do you know when the major came in? I was like, oh, maybe this person's going to take us to Reed Richards. You know what I mean?
I was looking in the background. These folk in suits, these fucking guys in suits in the background. Like, is that John Krasinski? Like, I was actually fucking looking at the telly. Like, is that him? In the back? Yeah. And then it was just like, it wasn't. It was just here. I was like, fuck off, get out of here now, fuck dickhead. Where's my Fantastic Four reference, bitch? Like, it really annoyed me.
You get the fuck out of here right now. Yeah. I want my Fantastic Four shit.
Yeah, it was like, it just fucked me right over.
So did we see the I think, did I send it to the chat? So there was a Wish kind of meme that was on. So what we wanted, and then we had like Reed Richards there, and then what we got, and it had Wish, and it had the major.
I didn't get that one.
No, I didn't get it, but that's great.
Yeah. And do you know? To be honest, we'll get back to that in a minute, Linda, because I think Linda disagrees with us by a comment.
And I've got something to say to that comment from Linda as well. Don't worry.
That's fine. But I think the point of that Alan's making is, which is so valid, is that this series it chucked us into what's going on. Okay, we'll just watch these 2 episodes and try and get through it, but try to pick out what I remember at the first live chat that we did discussing it. We were like, we think it's okay, and kind of enjoyed what I watched. So I want to see where they're going with it. It just threw us into it, and we were just like, we don't know what's going on here. And then the next episode we were kind of like, oh, and then the episode after that was like, right, I now follow this. I'm now excited. I'm fully invested. Let's go. And then they kept on bringing up in the tempo. But the thing, like the general theme around this, around WandaVision is anything is possible. So it dared us to dream. It said, do you know what, astrophysicist? Oh, who could that be? And we said, well, so much has happened in here. It gave us Pietro. It's given us everything. So maybe it could be, And then now this has been made. So I feel like in certain ways, this episode could have been its kind of own undoing. It could have been its own worst episode. It allowed us to expand our minds to this point where we could have thought anything is physically possible in this. And then this has happened. So maybe do you reckon they've built up the hype too much, kind of surrounding it?
No, it's purposely meant. Like, surely, like if you watch the pattern of most superhero films, all content, there's always a double bluff, there's always red herrings, there's always a glimmer just before the end where the big twist is, and that's what this episode is. As Linda pointed out, I didn't say it was the worst episode. I said it's probably the 4th best episode so far, and that her getting through the
God.
Them getting through when she got through, and then you saw that she could see Finger. I went, oh shit, she's turned to photon. But I don't know enough about that character to be really.
No, but that she can kind of see the energy was weird and really fucking intriguing. And
it's the only part what really made me pop in it. I was like, oh, that's meant like it was the best, the most interesting visual we've probably had in all of the season so far.
But what is her power?
That's what I was just going to say. It felt like it was what was his name in First Class, the Bacon's villain. What was his name? Who could absorb power or absorb energy?
Oh, what was his name? He got the old coin through the nose.
Yeah. Okay, her power reminded me of that because of the way she landed and the way the power was absorbed and then pushed into the ground, like that she could maybe transform energy.
Well, you've got to think it's got to be something to do with. Well, if it's called Phantom, so you've got to think it's got to be to do with some kind of nuclear energy,
or like particles or whatever. If it's photon,
so like if you can see the stream of photons, that makes perfect sense. Like she could control photons, that'd be incredible. Like,
well, I mean, she could be whatever Wanda was about to do to her, didn't she?
Yeah, so she's a positive to a negative or a negative to a positive.
Yeah,
which depending on which way you want to see it.
Yeah, so but it was fucking cool. Just as soon as she come out of the other side of the hex, and you saw her eyes, and they would were bright. I was like, oh, that was fucking sick.
Yeah,
it's such a lovely way of just introducing the fact that she's changed without showing really anything, because her eyes were already like kind of blue, like she would like, and it was just dialing it up that little bit to make you know.
And the fact that it went back down as well, I think it's to show that she must be somehow be able to control them in some way.
Like kind of
she kind of just shook it off, didn't she? She would kind of close her eyes and try. Just what the fuck, I think they did just enough. That was one thing I did like in this, because that's what I was questioning. We saw what she did when she came out of the hex. We saw her counter Wanda's attack, basically. Almost, it wasn't really an attack, but her attempt to throw her once again out of the hex. So maybe just go, what can you do? We start seeing the start of something here. What is it? What is it you can do? Because we know that it's definitely got some kind of link to what Wanda can do. But what is it entirely? And for me, this is again another thing that just keeps me kind of going forward on this, because I think this is what this is now her. Her origin story almost. This is now we're now beginning to see her use her powers. This is the first Spidey swing. And we're going to see these throughout the series as well. So that'll be exciting.
I do think that the snap, the returning snap, is going to be counted as the trigger of the mutant gene across everything. I think that's when her turn started.
Sure.
So when she come back, that's where she started actually. But going through in and out of that hex so many times is like pushed it on. Is made it go a lot quicker. Like it's made it really evolve very quickly, and that's how you can tie in more and more X-Men. It makes perfect sense.
If that's not a thing that Marvel is doing, they should definitely pick that up because it explains it quite relevantly. You know what I mean? It's everyone that came back from the snap, just the DNA just wasn't right. You know?
Yeah. The only other way to explain it would be if Wanda's hex gets so big and it explodes outwards that it goes global and
takes the world,
and it kind of transforms select people throughout the world. Like it has done to Rambo. That'd be the only other way to do it, but I think that's a big ask for that. For the
it's very close to Inhumans, though, isn't it?
I mean, they both could work. For people that are affected by the snap, or majorly affected by the snap, perhaps that have the same.
Yeah, and then it pushes them on forward when it goes out.
It just goes. Yeah, exactly. Because it's logical with what happened to Rambo. Perfectly logical. That's why I did it. That's why she changed. That's exciting. So what else happens in this story, guys?
Well, Agnes gets her own intro.
Yeah.
And it's fucking incredible. Like it's the monsters, it's the Addams family, it's just showing that she's literally like straight up, she's a witch.
Yeah.
No ifs or buts, she's powerful. Like the only way she's gonna have that power is through, and she even said it, do you think you're the only magical one round her?
Yeah.
Like
and closes the door in the little cheeky way she did it.
And when she said it, I even killed the dog. At the end of
I pissed myself.
It's just perfect heel turn. Like if wrestling turn, it's the perfect heel turn. How would you turn someone completely bad guy? You get him to kill a dog. All right, that is the nail in the coffin. That is a bad person. They killed a dog. Like.
Yes, Linda.
Yeah.
I could see Linda getting down to that. Amy asked a question just now. Excuse me. You said, did anyone notice that the next door lady, that next door lady, was showing the Power Stone kind of power?
Oh, because it was purple?
Quite possibly.
Yeah, I get that. It would make sense.
Yeah.
What I did notice was that I'm assuming it's like her spell book, was glowing kind of black and red, whereas her magic was purple. So it made me kind of feel like she was feeding off Wanda's power. Yeah. And that's why she's got to create this hex, maybe.
Yeah, and now she's powerful enough to expose herself, kind of thing.
Yeah.
If she was more powerful, there's a reason why she's feeding Wanda this. Yeah. And if she was that powerful, she would have done it from the jump. She'd go, listen, I'm in charge. This is what's going down. But she's waiting.
Do we still think that she's after the kids? Like she's the one what's purposely trying to age the kids up so she can harness the power in some way, maybe?
I think she wants Wiccans. I don't think she's bothered about the I can't remember which one Billy and Tommy are, but the speedster one. I don't think she's bothered about him. I think she wants Wiccan's power because he's like magic.
Shout out VK.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, again, another point of intrigue. Can we agree that this is a bit of a setup episode?
Yeah, like that's what I was saying before. Like it's purposely felt like it slowed down stuff. Like it was purposely like it hyped up stuff to pull you back down for it to go.
Yeah.
Wherever it's going to piss and go, because at this point, honestly, I don't know.
I feel like we'll get two big cliffhangers, I think, or one big cliffhanger and then the resolution and the end, because there's only 2 episodes left, isn't there? So this was 7, yeah? So, there's 2 episodes left, so we'll get a big, epic kind of cliffhanger at the end of next episode, and then all action and all resolution in the last. I'd be well happy with that.
Do you think it's going to be resolved, or do you think it's going to be open up? Is the lead into the next film?
I think it's resolved to a point.
Yeah, like the core story will effectively resolve. So the people in that town will effectively be free.
Westfield would be all right.
Yeah, they'll be all right. Yeah. But then it would then expand to other things. I don't think they'll completely sort out the situation, but I think we'll get Wanda back on side.
Yeah,
that kind of resolve.
We might get Wanda and lose Vision though, because Ultron got another name drop this week.
Yeah.
So we might end up getting Wanda back, but losing Vision.
Which I'm all for if we're getting Ultron back.
Yeah.
I don't mind losing. You've no disrespect to Vision, but I don't mind losing.
Yeah.
losing
I'd rather have Ultron than Vision.
Yeah. It's too Vision's too OP and too useless at the same time. How can you be that OP and be that fucking shit?
Exactly. Exactly. He's the Justice League Superman. It's just like, do something. Or Batman versus Superman. It's like, dude, you just, like the whole film, he was just floating in the air. And I was like, you're so much more. you know,
I don't think he bleeds, though.
No.
I think I've heard he does, though.
See, if we were sat together, is that the point where you'd have fucking slapped me just for referencing that film?
No, because that brings us onto what we can talk about next. Let's talk about the Snyder Cut.
Before we do that, WandaVision gave us the first post credit as well today.
Yeah, I missed it. So I missed it because I'm that sick of them fucking 7-minute outros that I just now switched them off. And then I was talking to Nick, he was like, and we got our first post credit. I was like, what? What do you mean?
Yeah, so a middle credit and a post credit.
Yeah.
So then I had to go back on and watch it, which was annoying.
Yeah. So Pietro, obviously being controlled by someone. Purple smoke.
Yeah.
Or is he Mephisto? Like I said last week, is he just using that as a skin? Or is it?
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. If he's possessed or if he is literally Nightmare or Mephisto in that skin. A part of me thinks it's not going to be as easy as it's him in his skin. It feels like he was being controlled. Like he felt like he was being like possessed. Like, so I don't know. That could obviously mean that Agnes is the one. Well, in that Agnes's intro scene, it does show her looking like she's controlling Pietro at the door. So when he first pops up, so that's another one. Was it her controlling him, or is it the other big bad?
Man, let's talk about that postman.
Yeah,
always seems to be there. Always there. Always there. Always lurking.
Every single episode, letting on, nodding a wink, taking everything in. He literally stops and watches everything.
Yeah.
What's up with that postman?
I feel like he's probably just going to be something stupid. Like I think one of you said it the other week. Like he's just the missing person that they initially went there to look for. Like the FBI, like the FBI agent was looking for.
Yeah, the guy was on.
He was on the witness protection.
Yeah, that's the one.
Like that. I feel like he's just that guy. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't think he's going to be anything significant in all, but it'll be a nice little nod when you get to the end of it and you find out who he is and you go, oh right, okay, that's cool. Like he was in every episode.
I feel like they're doing it on purpose. They're putting him in the scenes where and
he's getting more time each time. Yeah, like he's literally getting more and more time each episode.
Yeah. Like, they are making us question.
Well, like I was saying at the start,
for you to go, right, what are you about, mate? Yeah, I mean, you're always there, you're always lurking, you're always lingering.
Well, like I said at the start, it's the episode of the Red Fish, this one. Like, it was literally, that was obvious this time. I was like, he literally cut away and went back to him, which I think is the first time it's not just been a one passing cut, like one shot. This actually cut away and went back to him a couple of, if not twice, if not 3 times, definitely twice. And he's, like you were saying, with everything getting longer, it feels... They're giving away stuff, but also leading people crazy ways, like all over the film.
I feel like they do this. I feel like they do this. Red herring, I think you meant.
Red herring,
herring's a fish, dude. Chill.
I thought I'd completely misunderstood because he said red fish, and I thought, oh, that's a reference to something I don't get.
You just said nothing instead. You just sat there and
I was just stupid. Like, fair enough. I didn't.
Mike knows what he's talking about. He was just letting go.
Yeah, I was like, I've clearly not watched something that Mike's watched. Like Redfish is clearly an episode of something. Like it's an episode of Sopranos or something like Redfish. Like, and I just
Vicky is his wife. She does not have to offer him the same courtesy.
No,
it's her job not to. It's actually very objective not to. Okay, cool. I think have we dissected enough? We didn't really speak a lot about Vision in this episode, but he doesn't really.
Wasn't a lot to talk about in it.
He doesn't do fuck all, actually, really, does he? He's just
talks to Darcy. Understands why he died, and then come back.
Stuck in the car.
Darcy, and no one mentions Thor. Yeah, this also annoys me. She's not like, oh, I know your mate, by the way. You know Thor.
But she doesn't know who he is, does she? She's a bit.
Well, she knows he's an Avenger. She's seen him with Thor. He was in Sokovia with Thor. Like do you know what I mean? She's aware of that situation, and she's trying to fill things in.
Yeah.
The last episode, Joe, when he got through the hex, and he was talking to her, Joe, before he was like breaking up. She mentioned the Avengers, and he just completely didn't remember. So it's obviously part what hasn't been put back in there because of what happened. Because that's why she was talking him through him getting his stone ripped out and smashed up, and then Thanos rewinding time and doing it anyway. And it feels
easily like one of my favourite scenes in Infinity Wars. In fact,
watching him get that stone ripped out of his fod was fucking great.
Not even just that, like the whole of it. So I'm talking about all the Avengers rallying just to get the shit kicked out of them by Thanos. Cap's scene in that almost brings me to tears when he grabs his fucking hand. Thanos is there trying to, and this is the only point where Thanos isn't moving forward. You know, he's just walking through all of them, and at this point, he's thinking, "What the fuck are you? You know what I mean? How are you doing this?
Puny human." That's what he was thinking.
Yeah,
he's just thinking, he's almost impressed by it, and confused. He's like, "What the fuck?" And then he realized, actually, I've got better things to do, so I'm just going to smack you in your face.
He's the only one he gives a proper dig to, though, isn't there? Like the others, he uses the glove against everyone. He flips Panther into like a fucking build of stone around him or whatever. He just fucks everyone off with the stone. Yeah, but he gives Cap a proper dig. Like is that
not just to mirror what happened to Tony in the film before, though? Joe, when he beats the pissing shit out of him on that rock.
It's that same film, isn't it? When he stabs him. But then he gives Cap in the next film. He gives Cap a dig on the floor when he's got him pinned, and he fucking smacks him. And he does the same so he kicks fucking Thor in the chest, and he does the same to Tony. He just fucking slaps him across the head.
Yeah. I think he just knows that. But in fairness, Cap's there with two fucking half shield things on his hand, like a guy, like a dude. He's not wearing armor. He's not in a giant suit. You know what I mean? He's not flying around with a machine gun. He's just got these two fucking mellies on his arm. And he lays a couple of digs in Thanos. You know what I mean?
He's technically not just a man, though, is it? Let's face it.
No, he's not. To Thanos, he is.
Yeah, to Thanos, that's his confusion. He's like, "How are you stopping me from grabbing your neck and crushing it right now?"
Like Superman should have been to Batman.
Pretty much, yeah.
And the end of the film. All right, cool.
Yeah, Superman should have just one punch Batman into space and left him.
Chucked him into the moon.
Yeah, left him there. Yeah, I've got a lot of problems with that film. But anyways, let's kind of, like, as you were saying, Mike, let's kind of move on. Yeah, nice little segue there. Hold on, let's have a quick look at comments. Let's see what some of the fans are saying. Can I say Darcy seemed to know a little too much of what happened in Endgame for a civilian?
Because she watched the film like the rest of us.
There is that, and I can imagine in that 5 years, there is like the documentaries when you've seen them on the plane. Yeah. Joe and when they're scrolling through after the snap, and you see that they have released like documentaries on what everything happened. Because I can imagine a lot of people needed counselling, and there weren't that many counsellors left, so they went, "This is what happened," and just threw a load of shit out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm changing my drink up.
Guys, that's a really good one. You guys watching, what are you drinking today? Amy, Linda, what are you drinking? Mike, what is that you have there?
I'm going to regret this. It's Jagermeister cold brew. I've got it out of the freezer. It's been in there for like 2, maybe 3 months.
What is that?
So it's Jagermeister with coffee, like infused with coffee. It actually smells a lot better than normal Jagermeister, though.
So we got Dr. Pepper.
Oh, shut up, Vicar. That better have fucking alcohol in it. Why is she not on melon sours?
That's actually not. That's not bad.
Did you finish that? Yeah, Mike. You sorted it out. Yeah.
You dirty bastard.
Gave it a fucking hammering. Good stuff. I'm on Weston's vintage cider at the moment. It's like 7%. Big ass bottle. I'm on my third cup, and I'm already feeling it a little bit. So, chin to years.
Just for shits and gigs. I've got Corona. I've got Corona.
You couldn't help the joke, could you?
I couldn't help it. No, I couldn't help it. I saw it in the pub. I was going to say that wasn't a thing. Saw it in the supermarket.
No, we wish.
No tequila titties for Linda today. Just wine again, which is cool. And same as always, Desperado. Well, as long as you guys are drinking, that's all you care about, Mike, maybe give these guys are giving us recommendations for films and stuff. Maybe give recommendations for these guys of like shit they should drink. You guys need to get this and drink it by next Friday.
Amaretto sours.
Ooh, right. So you guys need
easy enough to have.
You guys need some Disaronno.
Yeah, you can buy sour mix in shops.
Sour mix.
Easier than making your own. If you can find bitters, I can store bitters. Right,
that's going to be a bit trickier.
No, they sell that in Morrison's and Asda and everything. Like,
okay.
It's about £7 a bottle, maybe even a little bit cheaper. What else you'll need?
It lasts forever. You only need the
simple syrups. Yeah, a couple of drops, simple syrup, shake it up, bit of lemon juice at the end. There you go, Bob's your uncle.
There you go, guys. So
is there any kind of a mixer with that? Is it just amaretto and then what?
That's what your sour mix is.
Like sour.
Sour mix and simple sour and simple.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
But you could just have it with lemonade as well.
Sour mix is literally like limes and sugar syrup.
Yeah, lemon and lime, sugar syrup.
I definitely will have drank it when I've been at your house, but you just pass me things and I just eat them and drink them. Like, I don't ask what's in it.
Which is dangerous to do in Mike's house. It's like,
it depends on how drunk I am.
Yeah, he's not
Surely.
I've eaten things that Mike has given me before and I've woke up not feeling right. But anyway.
Waking up like God touched you. Well, that's what it felt like.
We digress. Okay, so the Snyder Cut, guys. Did we all watch the trailer?
Over and over and over again.
What are we thinking about that?
How did they fuck it up so much the first time round? If that's the stock footage, basically.
2 words, Josh Whedon.
Josh Whedon.
Josh Whedon.
Josh Whedon.
I get it.
Whedon.
I get it. It's a Snyder film, so it's got to be a lot of style over substance. Like, it's just the way he does it. Like, but it's 4 hours. Is it just 1 4-hour film now? I think that's how they've actually come down. So he might actually get everything he wants to get into a film for once. So it might not feel style over substance. He actually might be able to fill out a whole film from top to bottom.
Now, guys, can I just ask? Are you guys looking forward to this film?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is going to be interesting, and if a time does come where we are able to go and watch this all together, it's going to be interesting to see how you guys fare on this. Based on me, obviously this isn't the cut that was supposed to go out. I appreciate editing happens and the shit stuff goes out, and that's what we saw. However, I'm not entirely invested in this story. Period. So even I saw the shit version of this potential story. The story itself does not excite me. I'm like, this isn't my Batman. This isn't my Superman. I care not about Flash. And Cyborg, even in the edit, still looks like a CGI shit. I
would argue think he looks worse. Steppenwolf looks worse.
Either way,
I'd argue he looks better.
Either way,
I meant Lynn Cyborg. I don't mean the last Steppenwolf.
Oh, right.
Just in like the way he actually looks. Like they both look. Ooh, that's a bit too much.
CGI is a little questionable.
I feel like this one. I did check. I paused the trailers as I'm a massive geek, and I slowed it down as well, and I zoomed in the captures, and I can see, even if it was edited for the trailers, but it doesn't look like we've got the Cavill stash CGI.
No, that was reshoot, wasn't it? Anyway. That's why. Yeah, that's why. That was pure Joss Whedon.
Yeah, so that's great. So that was one thing that I guess won't distract me like so much from it. But I'm just not invested in this. I feel like if I watch it again, like who cares?
Black costume Superman. That's the only thing what's got it for me. Like, it's literally the only thing it's missing is his fucking glorious mullet. Like, that guy should have come out with a fucking mullet. Like, but I'm looking forward to him being like an absolute twat. And I feel like we're gonna get that because we're gonna get the nightmare, like the full nightmare stuff by all accounts. And if you are doing the nightmare scenes and stuff like that, where we know like Batman killed Lois and stuff like that, it could be all types of mint stuff if it's just a lot of like nightmare stuff.
Because Black Suit Superman is basically what Joss Whedon tried to put into Cavill's stash. That scene where he fights the Justice League is what essentially like an hour long, like a 5-minute version of what should be an hour of Black Suit Superman. Of just him being a dirty bad bastard. I feel like that's what we'll be right. We probably won't get an hour, but even if you get 10 minutes, it's going to be so fucking satisfying.
I want to see a non-wet Superman. I just don't want him. I don't want him to look at him and go, "You wet bastard! You're not going to do anything that I enjoy." And then as soon as he puts on that black costume, I'm like, "Yeah, he's going to kill a load of people and it's going to be mint." That's it. I'm happy about that.
I don't know. I walk into this with some skepticism. Again, I feel like I think it looks. I feel like this trailer. Don't get me wrong, guys. Right. Compared to the Whedon, right, the Snyder trailer is not even like. There's no comparison. All right. The trailer is a better film than the Justice League.
Yeah. Like everything about even the dodgy CGI is better than the dodgy CGI in the film.
Big fact.
This trailer alone is better than that whole film. All right. So he's really done his job as far as I'm concerned in comparison. It's just revisiting again. Like I don't think my heart is there. Like I don't like. I feel like nah. Even if it is a better film, you know.
Do what I did and just forget the last one happened.
Well, this is what I want to know. Right, is this going to be canon now, or does it not matter? Is the DCEU scrapped? And they're just doing whatever they fucking want. That's the thing that's confusing me the most. Like,
because I think ultimately. The end, what they'll take away for it, even if they do further DCEU films, all they'll take away from Justice League is that the Justice League won and Superman is alive again. What came in those 4 hours or that 2 hours of the Whedon cut isn't really going to make any difference. Just they won, he's alive again. How they got to that point isn't going to matter for any films moving forward. So for me, it'll be canon because it'll be a better film, regardless of how. Even if it's awful, it'll still be better than what we had before.
Your own one man canon.
I know. I'll be in that canon as well. Fuck it. Anything, so I don't have to listen to anything to do with Joss Whedon ever again. I'm all right about it.
Yeah, this is now just the only thing that exists.
No, fair enough. Amy's brought up a good point because we did see Jared Leto returning as the Joker right at the end there of the trailer. How are you guys feeling about that?
He didn't have his stupid damage tattoo on his forehead.
Yeah, no.
So, I don't feel like I have. He got cut the shit out of Suicide Squad. Yeah. So I feel like I don't really have anything to compare it with. Like from what I saw from it was meh. It's pretty basic. I'm sure it should have been better. I don't know.
I think the editors did a fucking horror show to him on that film, and I think it ruined what could have been a really entertaining Joker. But it should have been a Joker film. Straight up, it should have just been a Joker film.
Yeah, I think you said, Mike, last week, like the fact that if the Joss Whedon, if this Snyder cut does well, they might release the David Ayer cut of Suicide Squad, which everybody wants, because apparently that was a different film before everybody got before the studio got their hands on it.
This is my problem, and I guess this is it from I suppose to an extent, like a production point of view. Like, okay, great. So then, if we get a Jared Leto heavy Joker Suicide Squad, okay, great. Then we get to see how that film should have been. But at the same time, Like I feel like the moment's passed. I feel like
I get that reaction of more so than I think I would like to give it credit. Like I get that because every DC, it's the same after every DC film. It feels like who's like, well, that was a fucking horror show, and just on to the next. Like it's very much a blip in the road, and they don't take any like notice, like any criticism.
But we still go and watch them, so that's kind of on us because they still make hundreds of millions, if not billions, at the fucking box office every time they put one out, and we all come out of it and go, "Oh, it's so fucking shit." What, Shazam's coming out? Yeah, I'll watch that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they do us dirty every single time, and we still go, "Yeah, I want you to do it again."
I'm still like, yeah, come on, Deathstroke. I'm still waiting for that Batman film with Deathstroke.
We all appreciate the fact that let's face it, I could throw out DC animations left, right, and center, and we do go great.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We could get Hush, we could get Robin versus Batman, we could get anything. Like literally, just think about DC. And we are fans of DC. Yep. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, Batman for me is still one of my fucking favorite heroes in the world. Like Batman is fucking awesome. He's just a fucking badass. Every single Batman Arkham game, I have it, and I've played them no less than 3 times each. I rate it. This is why the films hit me so hard, because even to an extent, I feel like I'm more familiar with DC. When I think of things like villains, when you think of like even just Batman villains, Penguin, Joker, Mr. Freeze, Ivy,
the Rogue Gallery is far stronger in DC.
You could say that to anyone. Before Guardians, no one fucking knew who these guys were. And people didn't know who Thanos was until he appeared. You know what I mean? And after the first Avengers, you think about Loki. No one knew who these people were. The MCU built these people and built the interest in it, and then we went back and then researched these guys, and and then found that information from there. DC has already got our attention from this, so effectively they should be the front runners. Like naturally, they should be in all aspects: movies, comics, and animation. But it's the movies in particular. This is what the majority of people go to see, and this is what we love as well. That we love going to the cinema and watching a fucking live action film, and we want it to do justice, and it never does. It never hits home. So it's almost like a heartbreak for me, DC, because I want it to be better than Marvel in many extents. I want it to be. I want the DCU to be better than the MCU. And the moment MCU is killing it, I'm more excited about anything the MCU is putting out. Fucking series, yeah. We're talking about WandaVision for ages. Right, Titans never made me feel like this. I thought it was good, but it doesn't stand up to WandaVision. You know what I mean?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, but DC has the potential to do that. So why don't they?
I would say it's because they'd rather go, do you know what we really, really need to do? Tell the Batman origin again. Woo! No one needs to see that shit. Move on. Like, they've got fucking loads of people to go. Like, people at the general public don't really know. All they need is a catchy hook. Like, and then push on. Like, pick one from your depths from the 70s, what no fuckers heard of, right, and go wild with it.
Yeah. That's what Marvel did, though. They went, we've sold all our good stuff. We've sold the stuff people wanted to watch and wanted to see and wanted to buy. So we've got our B team, so fuck it, we'll make films about them, and then made the biggest franchise that's ever existed out of the B team. Whereas DC...
thinking about Iron Man.
Yeah.
Think about Iron Man. Iron Man was nobody. No one give a toss about him in the general public.
No one.
No. No one give a fuck about Thor. And his first 2 films were good at best.
Yeah. I remember being a kid and owning...
right the end.
I liked Hulk. I liked the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of that. And I had a Captain America toy back in the day. I didn't have a fucking clue who this dude was. Didn't have a clue, but I thought he's definitely a superhero. That's great. And he used to kick the shit out of the Hulk all the time in my imagination. But again, didn't know who they were. I'd have my Batman toys, and I would have the whole story arc as a child of every single one of the characters that I was pretending to be. My extensive knowledge on DC was huge, but it's just because being younger, it's more, what's the word? you can. It's just more accessible. It's very relatable. It's very enjoyable, you know. And all the DC animation stuff as a kid, it was dark. It was gritty. We all remember the Batman animation on Live and Kicking or whatever it was. Yeah, it was fucking brilliant.
Which is better though, the Batman animated series or the X-Men animated series?
Batman.
X-Men.
I'll say Batman.
X-Men, without a doubt.
I can't. Batman. There was no part of the X-Men that made me go, do you know what? Damn. Like, God damn. Some of the Batman stories did not end well. They ended. There was like Batman does. There was an ending, and it was kind of a happy ending. But I mean, they had to go through a lot to get there, and there's usually some kind of major sacrifice. I think the X-Men. This is me now. As a child, I probably would have said the X-Men just because it entertained me a lot more. There's a lot more action. It was a lot more loud, a lot more colorful.
Best theme tune.
Best theme tune.
Best theme tune.
We'll remember Wolverine coming in.
Mate,
yeah.
I started with
Berserker Attack.
I retract my answer, X-Men. Fuck it, just because of the theme tune. No. No. But I think kind of growing up and maturing a little bit, I still watch some of the Batman episodes now, and it didn't need all that. Like Batman kind of very rarely kicked the shit out of people. There wasn't many action sequences in it. It was more just story driven, and some of the stories were so deep and complex. But as a child, it still drew you in. You were still happy to see Batman show up and save the day. But I think it was just, I don't know what the word is for it. There's something a little bit more sophisticated about the Batman stories. There was something that kind of carried it through a little bit more. I think the X-Men stories were a bit
bombastic.
Now, yeah, they were a bit in your face, or a
bit bombastic.
Yeah, a little bit bombastic. I think.
See, I needed that though, because I am, as you would know, I'm not a subtle guy. Even as a kid, like X-Men was absolutely everything, and I need a lot of different elements, and I need to see new characters and watch characters grow in anything that I watch to keep me interested. If the story's just about Batman, and occasionally you'll get a Robin, or like it's a villain. Batman felt like a villain of the week thing, whereas X-Men was like an ensemble cast that was going up against different villains over the course of like a season or a few episodes. Like it was a more stretched out story. Like
it was a longer arc.
Yeah, and even with individual characters over like the couple of seasons that you've got of X-Men, you got like big story arcs with the likes of Magneto and Xavier, especially when they go to like the Badlands and stuff like that. Like that whole set of episodes with Mr. Sinister in is fucking sick. When Apocalypse comes into it, it's incredible. Then they go into space and you get Dark Phoenix and like that. Just everything. It was set after set of incredible writing with a massive range of characters in it. So like X-Men,
it felt closer to a comic book film, like an actual comic book. I thought anyway. Like the X-Men felt like a comic book.
I feel like the X-Men felt like
a TV show.
Yeah, it definitely felt like the X-Men comic books. It was definitely
like
I felt like it was produced well. Don't get me wrong, man. I love the X-Men series.
The Batman animated series is still probably number one because I can still go back and watch that now. Like that's any episode at any point.
That's
exactly pick it up and stuff.
That's exactly what I watch the X-Men episodes now, and I'll go. I get what they're doing, but it's a bit in your face, like you said, bombastic. It's a bit, just a bit loud. You know what I mean? I understand the point they're trying to make, but it's a bit over exaggerated. The Batman story is still to this day. I could put it on. I'd be happy watching it with Luke or Finn or Holly. And it's not dark enough for it to be completely sinister, but it always strikes those notes. And for that to be done in a kids' film, like subtly, I think it's a little bit more complex. So I think I appreciate it for that a little bit more.
See, X-Men's on Disney Plus, and I've been back and watched it. Like I would still bang it on.
And Spider-Man, you know what I mean? I would rather watch Spider-Man than X-Men back in the day. I loved it.
Oh God, no.
Mate, I was a huge Spidey fan, man. Even as a child, whenever he was swinging, you could notice. Oh, that's the same shot. That's the same shot. It annoyed the piss out of me. Like, it looks like a Word document now, but those little kind of city CGI things they did. I remember being a kid going, "Wow, those graphics!" Yeah, I'd say to them, "Graphics,
The animation's so good."
That is definitely 16-bit. Look at that.
Look at that, Mum. Look at them graphics there. Didn't have the graphics like that. And, I used to have arguments with my mum about Star Trek all the time. I used to watch The Next Generation, which I thought was the best thing in the world.
It was great.
And my mum said, no, the originals are better. And obviously she's right. But as a child, I thought, Next Generation. I was like, Mum, look at them graphics there, yeah. Look at how the Enterprise is warping. Look at your graphics. It looks like someone's holding it on a fucking lollipop stick. Look, it's ridiculous. Look at Shatner's toupee. It's about to fly off. You know what I mean? At least Picard holds baldness. Like Shatner doesn't shit.
Bald and proud.
Yeah, bald and proud.
I would argue that the original Star Trek is fucking horrific. Even compared to Next Generation, like it does not. There's no comparison.
I don't think it is. I think the stories are better written. I think if it had the same technical abilities that they had in with Star Trek Generation, it'd be a better story. There'd be better story arcs. It's more
because he'd still be hamming it up with fucking massive gammon heads. Like
you've just got Shatner. You've just got Shatner in all over the place. Literally
every scene,
all over every scene, even scenes that he's not in, you can still feel the Shatner.
You can feel his ego. Make him get through the lines quicker because he needs to have longer in between.
Oh mate, mate, we had Nimoy Spark. No, the stories just. I remember as a kid, I enjoyed. Now I appreciated the Star Trek, the remake films that they did, a lot. But I remember I got to a point of I think we had this discussion in Red Line Live where I was watching Star Trek one day and I was like, oh, do you know what? Women exist. I'm going to go and discover ladies. And then left my house and never went back to Star Trek.
It's a valid argument, and I'd also accept it if you said Stargate. If you said either of them two and said then I found women.
I never quit. I kind of enjoyed the film to an extent, and then I just that was it for me. I didn't bother.
Love the Stargate film. SG-1 was kind of okay for about the first season, and then it was like, yeah, I'm done with this. I don't need to see it again.
I met the guy.
Why was the film so good, Al?
The film was so good because it's got Kurt Russell and Jay Spader in it, and it's just fucking incredible.
It's fucking batshit mental from start to finish.
It's one of the best. I could watch the scene where Spader walks in and rewrites the blackboard. I could watch on repeat for a whole day and still be like, yeah, just suck it, dickhead. You missed it. It says Stargate. I get dead excited about it. I fucking love it. It's an incredible film.
I like all that stuff. All that stuff I can't give a shit about. I just like it when they go through the Stargate and everyone just starts getting whacked by the fucking Egyptian god people. I love it. That's what I like. I was like, yes, when they're all in that fucking when they kind of try and do Aliens, you know the scene, and they're in the fucking bottom of the pyramid, and they're like the Marines go in there, and it's all windy and it's all dark, and they all start getting attacked one by one. As a kid, I was like, yeah, fucking kill them. You know what I mean? Start the fucking Marine. You know what I mean? Loved it. Couldn't get enough. Then I turned it off. Right. So they went through the Stargate. They all died. That's all I know.
That was the end. The film was 15 minutes long.
Yeah, it was 15 minutes long. The guy discovers the Stargate. They go for it and they die.
That had the highest rated IMDb ever. If it was only 10 minutes long, if that film was only 10 minutes long. Perfect. Mwah.
Yeah, absolute perfection. Let's remake Stargate, mate, where that just happens. They most of the films they're discovering it, and then they go through it and they just get killed.
While we're talking about shit sci-fi, I'm gonna go and get some more ice.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave you to it.
Right. Okay.
I'm definitely getting more and more drunk. I've kind of got halfway through my Westerns just now. It's a big bottle. It's a fairly sizable bottle. So everything that I say kind of from now on is not going to make less and less sense. I think we were talking about X-Men a minute ago. We've moved on to Stargate.
We were talking about Batman and X-Men.
We talked about Snyder. So X-Men was Batman and Batman Snyder. We went to TV shows again, and then
Yeah, I don't know how. Oh, Star Trek. You was talking about discovering women, and then Mike mentioned Stargate, and that was just. And then that sent me off on a Kurt Russell, J. Spade.
Let's not remember the link. Let's just try and remember the start of it. And
yeah,
I think the
start of it was Snyder Cut. Yeah. I'm excited about the new Joker. Well, Leto's Joker coming back
that's the question. Sorry, I don't even think we answered that question.
We did kind of touch on it because Amy asked it, and then Mike was saying, "Yeah, he's kind of like we jumped onto Suicide Squad and got off on a tangent like we do."
Amy, I'm really sorry. In answer to your question,
I'm excited to see Leto back because I think I'm in the vast minority where I actually like Leto's Joker.
Sure,
I really do because he feels very psychotic and intimidating in a really kind of grounded, brutal way.
I feel like I agreed to an extent. I feel like that's the character that was supposed to be portrayed. Once again, for whether it's his fault or not, I didn't feel like I got enough of it, so I don't really have enough to go by. By what I'm expecting from it. To see him again, I was like, "That's good," but I don't know you, pal. You know what I mean? I'm glad you're back. I know what everyone's saying about you, what it should have been. But what I've actually physically seen of you on screen, I feel like you're portraying a character that is supposed to be like this, rather than this is your character. So it'll be interesting to see what they do in this. I'm going in with a bit of a meh, price. I'm thinking, my whole mentality walking in is just like, if this is good, then great. If it's not, okay.
I'm just looking forward to the fact that the last cut was what 2:15.
Yeah.
This one's 4 hours. So when you look at it, it's at least an extra hour and 30 minutes of footage that Whedon's not touched. He's had no involvement in. He even went back and recolor graded all the stuff that Snyder had done. So it just visually, it's going to have a completely different look and tone to it, even on the scenes that we have seen.
Man. We only heard that, Mike.
Hello.
maybe when you turn your camera off, remember to mute it.
Never. I just wanted. I wanted to join in the conversation, but before I could, I needed to burp.
Is that your introduction? Excuse me, like kind of like tapping the old champagne.
That's all I need. A microphone at any event.
Yeah.
You just burp down and everyone go dead silent.
I mean, that is going to kill any conversation, no matter what's going on. It could be,
and people would laugh.
Yes, indeed.
You can't help it. If someone sounds like they're going to throw up the stomach while burping through a microphone, someone's definitely going to laugh at it, and then someone else is going to laugh about it, and before you know it, at least 4 people are laughing about it.
At least 4 people in a whole room in an event. At least 4 people are laughing.
Yeah, and it's me, you, Nick, and someone else I managed to get absolutely battered.
Yeah, someone who's fucked up, who took our advice and continued to drink.
That one poor git that strayed from the pack that might say, you.
Yeah.
She'll come to throw up in front of everyone today.
That one kid where everyone went, don't do it. And he went, nah, I'm fine, mate. I can handle it. And everyone went, no, seriously, you can't handle it. Don't drink with the Red Lion boys. Don't do it. And he went, nah, I can handle it. And then he's on a couch.
Yeah. Talks. So I'm not name dropping.
I was going to say we could name.
No, that was Leeds. We were talking about Atma when someone.
Yeah.
Was it Anubis? I want to say it's Anubis.
Yeah. Jack has been fucked up at a point.
I feel like there's a few. There's a few there.
Jan,
Dean,
Dean. Yeah, the list goes on. Like there's a lot that made that mistake.
Yeah, but Shorty never got that fucked up. Not in the last one. I mean, he was drunk, but he went pissed.
I've not seen him properly fucked up. To be fair,
Leeds was pretty drunk, but I don't know if it was just drunk at Leeds. To be honest. Right, what are we talking about now?
Well, we did the Snyder Cut, and then we may as well move on because we went off on 7 different tangents from there.
We have a lot of alcohol's been consumed today by me.
Good.
So that's good. Right, so should we talk? I think Mortal Kombat trailer came out. Should we talk about that? No, do you know what? Let's forget it. Nah, fuck it.
Mortal Kombat.
No, let's not talk about Mortal Kombat. Let's talk about something else. No, fuck it. Okay, we'll talk about Mortal Kombat. Yeah. So the Mortal Kombat trailer was released this week. Mortal Kombat. It is everywhere, to be honest. We released it as Redline Picture. This came directly from, I think everyone's
studio.
This came directly from the studio. Yeah, thank you.
Warner Brothers, isn't it?
No, it's Lionsgate.
It's Warner Brothers because it's being released on HBO Max.
Oh, is it?
Lionsgate might have been a production company.
I think it is Warner Brothers.
Right, okay, fair
play. Why are you doing this, Alan? Why?
I don't.
Nevertheless,
I had a beer. I got confident.
Billy Big Bollocks after a baby.
I wanted to drink with the Red Lion boys.
Really quickly as well, I brushed past that. I'm sorry, Linda, but Linda said everyone. Says I think everyone was missed at Leeds. At least that's what I told myself.
Everyone.
In Leeds, I wasn't drunk. I was just really ill. I remember being quite ill.
Yo, you was dog rough because even in between battles when I was just running around being an arsehole, and like just drinking. Oh, they sell fucking. What did they sell on tap? In the back, and it gets you fucking smashed out your tree.
I want to say
made by a bunch of monks down south, but drank exclusively in Scotland. Buckfast. They sell Buckfast there. Yeah. So I was on Buckfast and Brownie.
Yeah. I was not. I was making Mike run to the fucking bar and get me glasses of
Red Bulls.
And Red Bulls. Yeah.
I'm so sad I wasn't at that event because I think I was in Wales or somewhere on holiday with the kids.
You was on holiday.
You know, it got to the point. I was shooting from the crowd angle, wasn't I, in that event? And I was there at one point, and Briggs was there watching the battle, and he was watching me, and he was literally and he said he could see the camera just starting to do this, and he came up to me, and he was like, Nick, and he was like, yeah, and I was just like, he was like, you all right, mate? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And he was like, I can just kind of see the camera start to descend. I was like, no, they're in shot, it's fine. And after the battle, he was just like, just watch, man.
That's why half of LSD's round, all you can see is like this much of it.
That was me. My bad. Speaking about filming and all that shit, guys, make sure that you tune in tomorrow for the Premier Battles Anarchy tournament. It will be live streamed on King of the Dot Twitch stream, kicking off at 8 o'clock, I think, or 8 Summit. Follow Premier Battles.
I think the stream goes live, so I'm guessing that's when Shotty will be doing his hosting duties at 8.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's a battle rap event, so
yeah. I've been told not to get too pissed today. That's why I'm on 7% cider and drinking a massive 1.5 litre bottle. So, yeah, guys, make sure if you're battle rap fans, make sure.
I don't even know if I'm going yet, but I'm prepared to say I will go and drink a bottle of whiskey if you need me to.
Mike's on the guest list, but we need to check that we can squeeze him in. So potentially Alan's got Friday, so he can't make it.
I was going to say I'm isolating, so I can't, unfortunately. But it'll make it easier for the lads to keep the numbers where they need to be legally. So I'm cool with that.
You'll make that sacrifice, and we'll drink. Do
you know what? I'll sit at home and drink with you, mate. Like that ain't a problem. Like I can't go out.
I'm gonna sit at home and drink the bottle of whiskey and watch the battles on Twitch and talk shit on the live stream probably.
I'll tell you what,
come and join us.
Who are the battles tomorrow, and I can tell you which one I actually care about.
Mate, can we talk about Mortal Kombat really quickly?
Yeah, we'll talk about battle rap at the end.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about battle rap at the end. That'll be a good thing today. We'll promote. I'll let Briggs know so we can tell people to what. In fact, no, you'll probably tell people not to tune in because we'll just Yeah,
but if you like battle rap, don't watch these pricks talking about it.
No, don't watch it. Don't watch it. Right.
If you like battle rap, you'll definitely like us because we call people cunts and nonsense all the time.
Yes.
Not enough people do that in battle rap these days.
Stupid. It's all PC now, isn't it?
Let's bring it back.
Mike versus Alan.
Cunt.
Mate, I can't choose. Yeah, I mean, you're both into my eyes.
Bars.
All right. So
at least I've got. Okay, go.
Mortal Kombat trailer dropped today. If you guys haven't watched it, it is on the Red Line Picture Facebook page. On the channel, and it's doing really well as well. It's hit several million views. was okay. In fact, no, guys. Alan, let me start with you. Alan, what did you think of the trailer?
Do you remember when YouTube did those Mortal Kombat like little mini
Dark.
Yeah,
where they shown like a whole story in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Of that particular character story.
Yeah, that was the trailer. They showed the whole.
Not all of them.
They showed the whole story for every character in the trailer. Done. Watch the film. Sweet. Now, I'm still going to spend like a tenner or whatever it'll be to go and see it on the cinema and watch it like on a big screen. But I've basically seen the film. That's how the trailer felt. Yeah.
Is it going to be out at the cinema? Because is it April release date? So it might be a bit.
They said it will be released in cinema and HBO.
HBO.
Say, if it's not in the cinema, I'll just sit really close to me telly.
Same thing, innit? Same thing, mate.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you make yourself a bit of popcorn.
Sit really close to me telly. Get Harry and Georgia to just talk behind me so I can turn around and tell them to shut the fuck
up. Like simulate the experience.
The ambience of the cinema.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to piss in the corner then before you start watching it?
No, I'm going to throw up in the toilet. It's like Nick Cage.
Okay, so really quickly, I'm going to tell you about that. I'm going to tell you about that story really quick. In fact, no, I won't. I won't because it's a live podcast. But it was an interesting story. I got refunded for throwing up in a very popular cinema, very, very popular cinema's toilet. So we'll talk about that story another time, I think, when we've got a bit more of a drunk Nick. But anyways, so Alan, you did not rate the trailer. Mike, what did you think about it?
I'm still excited for it. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like I've seen the whole thing.
Oh yeah, I feel like I've watched the whole thing, but I also feel like it's very much the last Power Rangers film with blood. That's like the way the graphics, the CGI, everything, the way it looks. It just feels like, okay, we can do something which is kind of teeny. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix released an American, like just a sole American thing, and everyone's like a 35-year-old high school kid about this. Like it feels very much like that. Which it upsets me a little bit because when you see some of the cast in there, like you go, a lot of them can really, really do that shit. Like there's some genuine kung fu masters in there, like genuine, like. And then you look at that and you go, oh. But that being said, I'm still gonna watch the fuck out of it. And if I don't hear even just a little bit of that fucking theme tune, I'm gonna smash the gaff up.
I'm gonna go to the cinema just for that.
You're gonna pay for me to go, so I can smash it up.
And just smash everyone up.
Like Johnny Cage.
Yeah, like Johnny Cage. I'm maybe NG, only because I'm, and in fact no, you're not, because millions of people are. Everyone. Yeah, well, I think the general consensus from what I've seen from comments is
consensus. The Sean Connery version.
I've got a word of the week kind of cards. Yeah, that I'm starting to. Yeah, I'm starting to.
You did say it's kind of like your Scottish heritage, though, like.
Yeah, all I can see is a big sort saying that he's only going to be one of them.
That was what it was. You went full Sean Connery on it. You went
Scottish. Mate, that was like weird kind of. I don't know. You're like consensus. That's consensus, darling. Yeah, I don't know where this is from, but it is not Scottish.
We didn't say the campish German you can imagine.
The campish, it's concise.
The wholesome Euro trash.
Yeah. This is
concise. Move on, stop it. I love you.
I want to move on, but you won't let me, you naughty boy. When Mike goes that far back, this is okay, so let's just look at Mike's attributes right now. This is Mike putting himself away from the conversation. He wants nothing to do with anything that's happening here. He has to be on screen, so he's just putting himself impossible. Your face is like one of those pictures. It's just background at the moment, not here. Just in the background. It's just chill.
I'd be a sick X-Man though, wouldn't I? Fucking blockheads. That's what I called myself. Blockheads.
Nice.
See if I was just nutting people.
Which would be great. I'd watch that. So Amy, you're not alone there. A lot of people are enjoying this film. I'm with the guys completely on this. When I watched it, I was excited to see the trailer. I thought the intro was great. I thought some of the location shots looked amazing. I thought some of the footage looked absolutely beautiful. It's definitely shot in 4K and with kind of new res cameras. Everything looks great. It, like, production-wise, I feel like they have done a very good job. However,
I'm going back to the wall from that.
I'm going back to the wall.
Go back to the wall, mate. Go back to the wall. So, however, the trailer, Alan's completely right. It showed way too much. It needed a lot less of Scorpion scene. Scorpion scene.
Scorpio.
It was in the Simpsons. Scorpio. I definitely had a drink. Way too much for Scorpion scene. That fight scene would have been enough with him pulling out
too much Sub-Zero as well. Too much.
Sub-Zero's my guy. All right, so I won't give a bad word.
Mine, but I want that to. I want Sub-Zero stuff and Scorpion stuff to be hid. Like they're the two. They're the two guys out of the whole franchise.
Yeah,
I would imagine for the general public.
Yeah, we didn't need to see how Jack's got his metal arms and the fact that he got them. We didn't need to see half of the fight scenes in there. Kano, I think, was enough. We didn't need to see the beam. I think just showing his face would have been fine. We didn't need to see Scorpion's fight scene. I'm happy with Sub-Zero's scene that was in it, but we didn't need to see the entire fight scene. I think him fighting the guy in different kind of flashes, building up the wall and fatalitizing the dude would have been a perfect ending, perfect post-credit trailer scene for Mortal Kombat. If it would have ended like that, I would have been happy. I wouldn't have said another word.
I would just say all I'm gonna say is I hope and pray they've learned from Marvel. Like you can use stuff what's not going to be in that final thing just to throw people off and just show them bloody violence in that trailer just to get them in.
It didn't feel like that. I feel like it does feel like they were trying to pander to an audience, but it did not feel like pander. Did you like that, Alan? I saw you.
I did. I was also just reading the message because literally what you two are saying now is pretty much word verbatim for the whole group chat the other day, and he's just amusing me.
Yeah. Did I say panda?
You didn't say that they were pandering to an audience.
Did I say concise?
You didn't case and chase. No.
No. So in a way, we could have upped the levels from the group chat.
Yeah, you have. Like, no, I was going to read it out, but then I thought there's no fucking point because you just said it all. But it was amusing. It was very.
Did I call anyone a cunt?
I
mean, usually, but I don't think in this.
Amy, I fully agree. This is the scene that threw me out of the whole thing. This is Liu Kang's fire dragon scene.
Oh, that's in there.
That's in the group chat.
Nick shouldn't have shown Lu's dragon.
Yeah.
I
said you should show Lu's dragon.
That. Shouldn't have shown most of it.
I'd argue. I'm going to stick with my statement there. They shouldn't have shown most of it. That trailer should have been a minute long tops.
Yeah, and it should have been quick, and it should have just been them gearing up for the tournament. We should have seen we should have seen Liu Kang. We should have seen Sonya Blade. We should have seen something like Kano. We should have seen Johnny Cage, and then we should have seen Scorpion right at the end. We should have. No, in fact, no. We should have seen Sub-Zero right at the end. Leave Scorpion. We know who's going to be.
All you need to hear is to get over here. That's it. You don't need to see it. You don't need to see who he's using it on. That's all. You just need to hear it.
That's exactly that. Mike's making gestures.
I've got my own production runner in the other room, and she's just running with a sign saying, "Get Alan to talk about his Mortal Kombat casting."
No.
I feel like, in fairness, this is probably the perfect time to do this again.
I'm definitely not doing this again because we've done it about 4 times, and I definitely want to. I don't think a single episode has made it out where we've talked about.
If anyone's still watching this, could you just let us know if you'd like to see Alan's or hear about Alan's Mortal Kombat casting? That'd be great. Yeah, you let us know, and then we'll do it. If not.
Or we won't.
cold type.
I'm happy Johnny Cage weren't in it because Johnny Cage in the first one was basically Marky Mark, weren't it?
Pretty much.
Like,
I don't. Johnny Cage is a very. I like.
Cock end, yeah, Marky Mark.
Yeah, Johnny Cage is a very unlikable character.
yeah,
but it's one of those characters that you kind of you. So that's one.
I would. No, I think she's talking about Johnny Cage. I think she's just saying she would.
Why would she want him when you got this?
I don't know. No, she also replied to that as well. To be a bit more specific. Yeah, so we got one for. So we got two.
Linda said as well, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got two. Yeah, and we're just waiting on you, Amy. If Amy and G, if you'd like to hear about Alan's Mortal Kombat casting, please let us know, and then he'll.
We'll have to drop him like as weird TikToks one a day until next Friday.
Yeah, exactly. Next Friday, yeah, just one a day.
So by then, the whole world would have seen him, like at least the first 6, and would be tuning in for like Killer 7's casting. Of Conor McGregor for the 6th time.
Yeah, we just go literally just before I say it, you just go finish.
There you go.
Yeah, no, she didn't.
Here we go.
There you go. Amy's on. She said it.
Let's hear
Nah, it's not happening. It's not.
Mate. Guys, we've already decided. We decided.
We haven't decided shit. You very much made a decision, and Mike agreed with it. So
I'm not talking about me. Sometimes this is about more than us. Sometimes it's about our followers. And the followers have decided.
I genuinely can't remember most of it, but there was.
I'm sure Alan and I can help. I'm sure we can help.
What Nick's trying to make out and what Mike's trying to make out is that, as per usual, is that I'm racist when I'm actually not. So
can we hear the casting, please, Alan?
Yeah, there was a bunch of Asian people cast in it as the fucking ninjas in Mortal Kombat. Now they tried to make out that because they were wearing masks, that's why I cast the Asian people in those roles, and it wasn't because of that. It was to be fair, I can't remember the names at the moment, Nick. It was the 3 guys from the raid. One of them's called Chirrut Unway, and I can't remember the other 2 guys' names.
So can you give us some of the white cast?
The white cast. John Bernthal as Kano, Punisher.
Yeah.
I can't remember who I had as Son. Oh, Alicia Vikander as Sonya Blade.
Yep.
Who did I have as Jax?
Oh, yeah. It fits in well with the white cast.
I feel like... Yeah. No, I'm trying to think of non-Asian characters in Mortal Kombat, but I can't remember who I had as Jax. I'm just going through the list. Was it Michael B. Jordan as Jax? And then... Yeah. I think I stuck. I definitely stuck Raiden, who is questionably an Asian character. What? Although he was played by Christopher Lambert in the first film and the second film. It was a different character, but also white.
No, but he wasn't Christopher Lambert in the second film.
No, but he was also white in the second film.
Yeah.
So I think it was Franco, wasn't it? It was James Franco.
James Franco.
Yeah, I just went fucking stupid with that one.
Are we talking about Pineapple Express, Spider-Man 3, James Franco?
Yeah, we're going full batshit crazy.
I'm an artist, Franco.
Yeah, he'll go that method. He'll just move to Asia for like 10 years just to play that part, James Franco. Like that is the guy. He'll become a god to be that part.
So just for the moment, so we were naming the non-Asian characters, which you're doing relatively comfortably, but the Asian characters, you kind of threw one at me, and the rest is
because Eastern cinema's not prevalent in my knowledge. Like I don't know those actors. Tony Jaa was definitely in there. I can't remember who he was. He might have been Liu Kang.
You cast him as.
Yeah, so like there are certain obviously big name Eastern cinema or Asian actors that I know. But there aren't an awful lot of them that I'm aware of.
I will say, we all actually did cast one person in different roles, what's actually ended up in the film. The guy from the raid.
Chirrut Unway.
Yeah.
So I said, I think
we all cast him in our Mortal Kombat as a different character, but he's actually ended up in this film. Which I think is a bit weird for us.
Who he is, because I think I put him in as either Sub-Zero or...
Do you reckon
you put him in as Scorpion? I think because Reptilian was Conor McGregor,
No,
Reptile.
I didn't have Reptile in my. I didn't have Conor McGregor in my cast. 100%. Because why? Because why?
Because I think you said he moves like a weirdo.
I especially wouldn't put him in as someone like Reptile, who I actually quite like. I'd put him in.
Yeah, but you don't talk. You give a reason for it. I remember.
Yeah, but the only reason I'd cast Conor McGregor in a film is to see him get his head fucking punched in.
Exactly. That's why you put him there. That's why you picked him in a bunch of films, so he did his own stunts.
Guys, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to release that footage, I think. Because,
settle it.
Yeah, I think it needs to be settled.
Heavily edited, so it's just Alan's.
I think just the raw footage just needs to come out from start to finish. I think the world just needs to understand.
I am absolutely fine with it because it is just one of the many occasions where you two are just being dickheads.
Yes, completely. From start to finish. And when I run in there to get some more cubes for my drink, Vicky says she was willing to come on without a camera to tell the story about the day where we did filming. We got banned from filming at my banned from filming in the flat for 2 months.
That actually did get banned.
I didn't get cancelled on that particular filming episode though, because that was on a Sunday night, and Vicky went, "You was like the next day in work." Vicky went, "You was all right, but them two did me fucking head in." Like, I feel like that's a direct quote, and that's when she was like, "Right, Mike, we can't film here on a Sunday night anymore. If you're going to do it, it has to be on a Friday or a Saturday, and maybe I need to be out."
It went far off that.
To be fair, Mike and I were laughing pretty hysterically for about an hour, like solid, for maybe more.
Just being absolute knobheads.
I think it was the most I've laughed in like 2 years. Literally, I felt rib pain for about a week and a half after it. Like, those floating ribs at the bottom, when you're a fat guy with no core strength, those really hurt if you laugh for like 20 minutes. I hope
you're proud of yourself, Alan. Yeah, nice one, mate.
You hurt a fat guy for no reason.
Nice one. I hope you're fucking proud, mate. As proud as you are.
And I was wearing glasses.
Nice. And you're disabled. It's just fucking awful.
Just bullying me. I'm just bullying me with your humour.
Terrible human being.
Yes, Lennon Paul. Thank you.
Lennon, are you drinking?
What are you drinking, Lennon? We're all drinking now. You've got to be drinking with us. All right, so let's move away from. So
like the stream, share the podcast, whatever. What does talk? What does Flawless say? Actually, I said talk then. He doesn't go on camera.
No.
Go on, Nick. Say it.
Go on, Nick.
I don't want to. I just want to keep your silence a little bit more.
Go on, say it. Linda, say it in the comments.
Someone's got to say it.
I'm going to finish up on the Mortal Kombat subject real quick.
Okay. I expect it to flop, but it's going to make enough money for it to be a sequel because it's already made that money by HBO releasing it. There you go.
Yeah, I think it's going to be entertaining. I think it's going to be basically. I don't think there's any kind of Marvel twist that it's shown us in the trailer. I think it is what you see is what you get. We're going to get these fight scenes. We're going to get a few more. I think we're going to get fatalities, but they're not going to be as exciting. There we go. But they're not going to be as exciting as we think. Yeah.
Linda, I wanted a bit more direct than that, but go for that. That's okay.
There we go. And that I think that's.
She did say, "Do I think all black?"
Oh, there we go. The second comment. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Thank you, Linda.
Yeah, there you go. There we go. As long as we're all happy here.
Yeah.
You guys not kind of miss it if Linda doesn't say it like at least once a week. You kind of
say something, and especially after a Mortal Kombat conversation, it feels kind of really gratifying that Mike was the racist one.
I would argue I wasn't. It just slip of the tongue.
Slip of the tongue. Just
how it starts. In conversation, and then it ends up being the way of life. Before you know it, you're burning crosses.
Whoa! That would actually mean I think there's a God, and I think religion's got a valid point in society.
That's your only problem with burning
it.
crosses, the fact that you don't believe in God.
Let's face it, that's not going to fucking happen. If you believe in, like, religions to me should be treated like hobbies. No one can get mad at you for painting world like Warcraft things. No one should get mad at you for reading philosophy. If you like that old book, cool. Do you? No one should get mad at you for it, but they should be just hobbies.
Nice.
Okay. All right, so let's move on. Yeah, I think, anyways, it's gonna be bog standard. What you see is what you get. Can we have one more conversation where race isn't brought into it? The answer is no, because
absolutely
of Alan.
No. We absolutely can have it.
I am going to.
Oh, it looked like you nodded along with it at first, then it took you a couple of seconds.
Wait, hold on. Whoa.
It got to a point where we brain engaged and went, hang on a minute, whoa, hang on a wait. What? See what I mean? See how I don't do subtle?
No.
I feel like
Alan, I'll release the raw footage and I'll let the public make up their own. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that.
In all fairness, we were that pissed. I don't think they'd actually be able to understand me and Nick, and only Alan. So yeah, release the raw footage.
We'd spent so long laughing at me and you that Nick finally got to his list, and he mentioned, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Tony Jaa, and he mentioned an Asian character, and because we'd laughed so hard at how ridiculous our lists were, we went fully just disappeared on Nick's. We just all of us just fell off the chair. It got to a point where we'd gone over the edge and we couldn't be pulled back.
I think this is where the bar came in. I think this is probably it.
I feel like this is one of the occasions where we went, this is why Nick's not allowed on camera. Because this is what happens. It's a descent into madness.
Hey, man.
Yeah. He never walks around without his tub of bleach.
It's a bit harsh.
You know. Absolutely do not like whitewashing. Like, can we just point that out, please, before we move on?
I'd say
unless you've got a cracking fence, what needs doing?
Yeah.
Flip him a fiver, you might do it.
I'd say, Alan, save the apologies and the excuses for once the footage is released. I think that's probably best. Smart move. Right, okay, so what's next? Battle Royale. We all watched Battle Royale today after the recommendation from Amy and G last week because we failed to watch the thing that she asked us to watch in the first place once again.
We did watch last week. We did make up and try to watch the second suggestion.
Yeah,
which two of us did. Two of us did do.
And I watched half of it and got bored and never went.
What happened this week, Al?
We was asked to watch, what was it?
Battle Royale.
I watched half of it.
You prick.
I'll be dead honest with you. Hang on a minute. I didn't watch half of it and get bored and didn't go back to it. I literally watched half of it because it's all the time that I had. I was slotting it in between on my breaks and my dinner today because I'd forgot to watch it up until last night, which you had as well. Then you watched it at 9 o'clock this morning. And I tried to slot it in. I've got it. I even fucking rented it on Apple TV because it's the only thing that I could find it on. So I started watching it, and it is fucking brilliant. Like, it's really, really, really good. I'm thoroughly enjoying it, but I'm an hour deep into it. I've got an hour left, and I'm really looking forward to when this being over, I can watch the other hour. Like, it'll be done tonight. I just didn't get a chance to get it all done before the podcast today. But I will watch it all.
The reason why we decided to watch it in the first place, Kevin.
Yeah, but not like Attack on Titan, where I just went, oh, it's fucking boring. There's too much reading. Like, I'm actually enjoying watching Battle Royale, even though there's a lot of words and there's a lot of reading. There's some fucking great death.
There's a lot of better acting in it though, and a lot of better directorial choices and stuff like that.
It feels really good, and because obviously there's not like a ton of CGI and stuff like that, I'm kind of just like, yeah, I can just they've spent the money, like we've always said, they've spent the money where they were supposed to spend it. They've spent it on the talent and on the writing and on the location rather than on just a load of bullshit on a computer.
Yeah.
It's a strange one because I my first dip into like Japanese films, like apart from like the obvious like early kung fu films and stuff like, well, that's more like Hong Kong cinema, but like the early Godzilla films and stuff like that, I didn't really know much about Asian cinema at all. 2 years before that, the Ringu dropped. I watched that on Channel 4 in 2000. And that got me like hooked. After that, I had to watch anything I could. And then this was the first big one what had a really small release in Manchester.
Yeah.
And I managed to see it at the cinema. And I was just like, because the score in it is crazy. Like from start to finish, it's just the use of classical music to punctuate mood and like tone.
It feels kind of like an old Western in a lot of ways. Like it's just like the way the music's used for tone and stuff like that. It's really, really good. And it's made me want to go and watch a shit ton of other stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. It. When I watched it, I was like, oh shit, there's literally a whole world of like cinema, because I got my hooks into like the horror. I'd watched that. I'd auditioned not too long after it, The Grudge. Like, so there was a bunch of really weird, kooky horror stuff. Then this popped out, which is a weird adventure, thriller, horror. Like it's all over the fucking place.
It's a smart film. And this is what I like about films. I feel like you take away the gore aspects, you take away the excellent cinematography, you take away the like you said. This is one thing I was going to point out. The score tells the story. You know, if you've seen it before, if you've seen it as many times as I have, perhaps Mike, you hear the score, you know what's happening in that scene. It tells the story. The story itself, it's written. It seems like it could happen. You can walk away from it.
It feels like it's not far from happening.
Yeah, you feel like actually, this is a very plausible reality for us. This is a very realistic potential future. Yeah, overpopulation. Yeah, this is something that could, not as gratuitous, but potentially this could happen. And this is what intrigued me about it, because it makes you think, and then it gives you all the fun. This is the key aspect that's missing, I think, from horror films. And this is, I wouldn't say this is a horror film, but it has obvious horror elements.
Yeah.
This is what's missing from horror films. That story that makes you go, yeah, afterwards. That makes you continue talking about it afterwards. Not just specific scenes that made you go, oh, yeah, that scene was gross. But generally, like the whole story in itself,
Anything with the teacher.
Yeah.
Anything where the teachers, if you're following just that teacher's storyline on its own, from him getting stabbed in the ass or whatever by that knife, and then him, you think he's coming back for revenge when he takes him, like, and then you realize he's not really in it for that. He's just like kind of obsessed with this kid.
Yeah.
It's just a wild set of storytelling, and it's not shocking that storyline has been plundered from top to bottom. Everything about that film has been used in something else, in some way or form. The most gratuitous is like the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
But even these bits from like stuff like Children of the Men, which I know was a book beforehand, but these heavy, very heavy overtones of a government, what would do anything to keep people in like that. Yeah, it's a special film, and it was one of the first foreign films what I watched what I understood the political message of. From like the bottom of my soul, I understood that. Whereas I can watch somewhere I'll never understand completely. Like if it was talking about fights against communism and stuff like that, I'm never going to understand that side of it. If it's about Maoism and stuff like that, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it's a universal story. It's a universal story. There's nowhere in the world where you can. Well, very few places in the world where you watch that thing, you think actually this is a very plausible reality, whether it's your part of the world or a part of the world that you see in the news. Nevertheless, you can understand that how that could be. You generally feel for these people as well. It's like almost the Thanos aspect. You get so many people saying and bringing it back to Marvel, you get so many people saying that Thanos' logic was sound. You know, what he wanted to do was generally for the greater good. He sacrificed for the greater good.
It's not just Marvel that though. It's that any bad guy, any good bad guy has a genuine reason, like a genuine cause behind it that you can believe in.
That's the difference. If it's not just you're not just playing a villain, you're playing a genuine bad guy. Like someone that generally believes in what they're doing. But again, Marvel's done it with Black Panther. You know, Killmonger. His rationale for what he did, or what he was doing, and his beliefs behind it were sound.
I think if you're going to put that Black Panther up there, I think you have to put in Civil War baddie, Daniel Brew.
Yeah.
Mine's gone completely blank because that is it's literally, I was from a war-torn place. I supported my government. My family got deaded because of the Avengers.
I want to say
because of Tony Stark.
Nemo. What's his name?
Where's Alan when we need him? He's the one good with names.
We could just Google
you know what I mean. But he's got I think he's got the one storyline as a baddie. What as a person I connect to the most.
Yeah,
like it's literally it's as stark and as bleak as he can get. Like he believed in his country, and then he got cast aside after Tony Stark's missiles decided to like wipe his family out. And then he's just like, fuck everyone, I'm going to get my revenge. Like, if you can't understand that as a basis of a villain, you're not going to write a good villain. And Marvel do it well, but they don't kill enough of them off.
Well, again, Civil War was great simply because that was the only Marvel that didn't finish with a happy ending, you know? It didn't, because it was just like you could empathize with everyone that was on in that there was no real villain towards it. Like obviously, you know, the main bad guy was particularly the villain, the whole thing, that kind of stirred everything up to get these guys to fight each other. So I guess he was the bad guy. But again, when he's telling the story to Black Panther, and he goes, you know, he went with his children and his wife, you know, to go and see the Avengers take on Ultron. They dropped the whole city, you know. The dust settled. His father was holding his family, you know, as they died, and the Avengers went home, you know. And when he tells that story, you go, okay, all right.
But he also that's also the birth of Wanda and Pietro. Like,
absolutely.
I would love them to turn her as a full-blown villain at some point. I don't think this is the series for it. I think you need to do that in a film and kill her off. But
I think she's crazy enough to do that. I think she's definitely kind of unstable enough to kind of go that side. So I think it'd be a bit of a waste if they didn't do that. But back to Battle Royale, great film. If you haven't watched it, go see it. It is absolutely sensational. You know, again, the special effects are a bit predictable, I think, at the moment. Maybe it's just because I've seen it a few times, but I think gory enough to make you go, yeah, okay, this is cool.
That first neck explosion,
great.
It's meant but it's overshadowed by the knife in the head, like a couple of seconds later.
Yeah,
which always, as soon as someone gets a knife thrown in their head, I always jump back to Big Trouble in Little China. The low pan scene, and then it looks fairly close, you know, so where it hits and stuff like that.
I would say
how quick that shot is and everything is.
Yeah, the sound editing is great though, because when he pulls it out and you get the nice like kind of squelch and scrape,
and scrape. Oh,
yeah, it's really well done. Really well done. Like I said, I'm looking for. I've not got a favorite death. Well, I've got a favorite death up until this point, but I'm only an hour in, so I would imagine.
So what is it to this point?
Oh, dick stabbing. Like that is the
dick and then the stomach and
because that guy was just trying to get laid. Like at the end of the world, he was like, "We're all going to die anyway. Let's fuck." And she just went into it, and then he was like, "Well, I'll rape you anyway." So she stabbed him in the dick, and I was.
That's what that reminded me of. That scene in Dogma. The world's gonna die. I want to get fucked like that. But instead of remembering that there's like Jesus over there in the hospital, she stabs him in the dick. What is not to like about that film?
Yeah. Dogman's a great film.
That is a great
No,
film.
I was on about Battle Royale, but yeah, Dogma as well.
I was going to say just because Vicky's been a bit of a dick tonight. Why don't you watch Dogma, Mike? Because she hates it when you watch it, and I love hearing her complain about you watching it.
Hey, if it's not Dogma, it's any Kevin Smith film before Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah,
straight back. Like,
yeah, just anything really.
But Dogma, yeah, Vicky, we're watching Dogma tomorrow. Go ahead.
Welcome, Vic.
Okay, cool. So that's Battle Royale then. So yeah, really good pick again. If anyone has any other suggestions as well, Amy's come up with 2 so far. So Vix is going to pick one that's going to fuck you up, Mike. I think.
Oh,
So
fucking hell. I was going to say, Vic,
suggestion. Let us know.
If Vix will either go weird that Michael really like and I'll hate, considering I've just told Mike to watch Dogma, it wouldn't surprise me if Poltergeist 2 didn't pop up as the suggestion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We should all watch Poltergeist 2 for next week because clearly the best evil entity in cinema.
I can't watch Poltergeist 2 on me, Jack. You should. I'll watch it at yours. I can't watch it on me, Jack. I really can't.
You really want to watch it? Well, I'm going to film you while I'm slapping you in the back of the head.
I'm not even okay with it. Like, I'm not being a dickhead or anything. I'll watch anything else. I cannot watch that film on my own.
I
won't watch it on my own.
You need to man up a little bit, pal. I think you.
No, there's nothing. There's no shame in saying that I'm fully aware I cannot do something. That is a point. That's a line I walk across on me, Jack.
Alan,
what?
Alan. What did Jesus do when they sentenced him to die? Did he simply walk away? Did he just stand there and cry? No, Jesus dug down deep, knowing what he had to do. We're faced with his own death. He knew that he had to man up. He had to man up. So he caught up on that cross.
Look at you. Too intimate. Mike's not here. It got too intimate. And I couldn't look you in the eye. I fucking love that.
Shouts
to the Book of Mormon. If you've not watched that on the stage so far, when theatre comes back, please go and support that show because it is possibly the most racist, most homophobic, most anti-religious thing you'll ever watch, but 100% the funniest thing you'll see on this.
It's all of those things, but with a soul. So somehow it still manages to find its way out and make you feel good at the end. It is weird. Only Trey Parker and Matt Stone could do something like that.
Yeah, only them could be offensive to everyone while at the same time really offending no one.
Yeah. It's
masterful. It's amazing. Really.
But for some reason, you feel like you've been given a good moral story, but at the same time, you're definitely going to hell. I don't know how they've done it, but they've done it. And
so I've just gone to get some more booze in the other room, and apparently I've missed someone serenading someone.
I sang the Man Up song from the Book of Mormon when he.
That's all right. I just thought someone was getting some sexual loving, and I'm not, and I was a little bit disappointed.
No sexual loving without you, Mike.
I couldn't look at him, Mike.
I'm moving on.
Oh, he's on to Prosecco.
Oh, I'm on red wine. That's okay. I'm on Merlot. Merlot.
Oh, I've had that one before. He'll do the job.
Really? It's really nice, you know.
I've actually finished my bottle of cider, and I'm quite drunk, and I don't know if I should drink anymore.
Another one.
Wait a second. I'll shout Vic if you want some.
I've got some rum and shit.
Remember that time when Briggsy told you not to?
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, okay.
Do what?
Drink.
Oh, drink, yeah, constantly.
Hello, Kat.
Okay. Before I drink, are you ready? Are you ready, Alan?
He said, "Yeah, I'm ready." No, because if you're gonna start singing, I'm gonna be depressed.
Pick of the week, 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 pick of the week. Woo!
I weren't listening. Vicky come and took my glass of Prosecco off me, so I've got to pour another one.
We'll have to do it again then. 1, 2, 3, and pick of the week, 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 pick of the week. Hooray! You just drank all of that. Wow. Tapping.
Absolute banger.
Absolutely. That is going to be number one.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be number one. So, lads, so if you don't know, every week we pick a movie that has inspired us in some way or that we like, or is just a movie that we feel is relevant and we need to shout it out. That is our pick of the week. So it's a movie of the week. Alan, you never really come prepared to these things.
No.
So have you bothered to have a pick of the week this week?
I actually have, because I started the week out watching a really shit film because I watched Hellboy.
The new one, the newest.
The 2019 David Harbour one.
Now, Alan, we don't
bad mouthing the worst ones.
We don't really do this much at Red Lion, as we're very professional. But can we digress for a second?
Please do.
Yeah, thank you. Can you just talk about your Hellboy experience? So I didn't really kind of, what did you think of that film?
I'd rather dip my dick in acid than watch it again.
See, you said that. I said I'd rather shit in my hands and clap. Yeah. I think it's both I
shit you not. I was watching it. It was late on, I think Tuesday night. I was watching it. It's on Netflix. If you want to go and kill yourself, go and watch it. I was literally watching it. It got to a scene, and
the troll.
Like the giant. Like I was just like, oh
yeah,
like really, like oh, yeah, it's the fucking good that. Look who's got a big sword. And then it got to another bit of the film, and I thought, oh, thank fuck, it's over. It's like it's the end. And then it didn't end, and I was
had like 3 false endings.
I was like, what the fuck? It didn't end. So I paused it, and there was 40 minutes left. 40 minutes of shit.
The timing is it's one of the worst time films I've ever seen in my life.
God, if it had been the end of the film, I'd have been kind of satisfied that I'd gone, all right, it's a bit blah, it's a bit meh, but I've not asked, it ended, it's fine, whatever. But I had to then sit, so I turned it off. I went, oh, fuck, I'm going to bed. So I fucked off to bed, and I watched the other 40 minutes the next day, because I can't, like I've said before, I can't not watch something in its entirety. If I'm going to shit on it, I need to know that it deserves to be shit on. And I swear to God, it is the fucking biggest pile of AIDS I have ever seen. Fucking honourable.
I was so excited for the film. Like,
Mike.
Genuinely.
David, who did we see it with? Did we go see it with Briggs? Yeah, we went to see it. We had a few beers before it as well, so we were pretty tanked up when we went to see it. So I think we
had 1 or 2 when we met.
Yeah.
Was it in the Spoons over the way, or the one next to it or whatever?
Yeah.
Then we watched it, and when we watched it, we was like, "That's that bad. We should go and have another beer." Like it was.
So we drank some more. Yeah.
No, I drank after it in an hour. I drank 4 pints in an hour, and I drank maybe 2 in 2 hours before it. Yeah. Like, I was distraught by it. I was like, I'm going to drink this away. Like,
It was horrific. Just everything. You could go through the entire film, like every single bit of acting. David Harbour, Mila Jovovich Jackson, the British girl who decided that she was from different regions of England throughout the film. It was fucking horrific.
I would say David Harbour's look, the look of him, the way I like that, because it's very, very close. Like as close as you can get to that type of like drawing. Like
Warren Perlman's look. I really do.
I do as well, because I think Perlman,
he is just
when you need someone to look like a devil and a human. You need someone with the blockhead. So yeah, that Perlman makes perfect sense.
like Ryan Reynolds was born to play Deadpool, Ron Perlman was born to play Hellboy. Like it was the role that it was made for him as a role.
Even more so than Finger, Sons of Anarchy. Like I prefer
because he looks like he crawled out of a pit in real life. Like so, obviously on a film, that's going to make sense.
Mike, do you reckon that's what they went through in casting? So they was like, who do we need to cast here? And I was like, we need someone with the blockhead.
the blockhead. And then they went with David Harbour, who's got minimal blockhead, but some blockhead. Like, it's not long enough. It's more square instead of like...
Yeah,
you need a bigger forehead, like upright, Joe, to fit those horns on. Not them looking like they're coming out the side of your head like a fucking demented billy goat.
So do you reckon they have like pieces of Lego to kind of compare it to? So it's like, which kind of block spectrum?
Like the big long one. Like it needs to be about like 8 straight up. Like the good one in Tetris. You need also the guy what played Egon in Ghostbusters. He's got like the right dimensions, but he needs to put on a god like 300-pound in muscle.
Right, do you know what? We'll move on to Ghostbusters in a second. Mate, shout out Ghostbusters, shout out Harold Ramis as well. God rest his soul. Let's move on to the pick of the week. So Al, what is your pick of the week?
Yeah, so I started off the week.
Is it Hellboy?
It's not. It couldn't be further from the Hellboy. So I thought I need to watch something from like that I really love to just watch this from my soul. So I watched The Quiet Man, which I sent you as a pick, and I knew you wouldn't know what it was from the pick that I watched. From the pick that I sent. But yeah, I watched it. It's an old John Wayne film. It's set in Ireland. It has some very
questionable acting.
Delicately portrayed Irish accents, some wonderfully sensitive material.
Well, this is what I was going to ask. Is John Wayne doing his John Wayne?
No, John Wayne's
weird. So he's playing an American. Yeah. He's not playing an Irish guy.
No. John Wayne in it. If you've never seen The Quiet Man,
no, I don't think so.
Have you never watched it, Nick? Right. So John Wayne plays an American from, I think he's from Pittsburgh, and he was originally born in Ireland in a little town or a little village. Goes over to America when he's a kid, and his mum tells him about this place that he was born for, called Innisfree, for all of his life. And then when his mum passes away and he gets a bit of money behind him, he decides to go back to Innisfree and he buy the cottage that he lived in when he was a kid. And it's essentially a love story, but it's so fucking good. Like, there's a big scrap at the end where he just punches fuck out of it, this guy. Like, they literally have a fight right the way through the town. It's such a really great film. Like I say, there are some questionable Irish accents in it because...
Is that where Family Guy got the chicken fight from?
I would have thought so, yeah, because they literally fight right the way through the town, all the way through it, and it's a classic scene where the people run out of the pub to watch him fight because it's this little town in Ireland where no one does anything. The train doesn't leave. The train doesn't leave the station because there's a big fucking punch up. Like honestly, it's really, really good. Questionable acting, obviously. It's made in 52, so it's not the best acting you're ever going to see. The Irish accents are from all over Ireland. And then there's a reference to the IRA, but in 52 the IRA was different to what it
very different.
Yeah. So there are choices that were made in the film that can't be helped because it was just of what the time was. But it's so fucking good. It's just really, really enjoyable. It's a film that I watched as a kid and just remember seeing as with my dad and just loving it. So I thought I need to go back and just watch something I really enjoy and just spend like 2 hours just smiling.
How old is he in that?
He's well into his 40s, early 50s. So
it's not like he's like
John Wayne.
Yeah, when he learned how to do more than just that, stand in the doorway and do that weird walk.
He's thick set. He still walks like a cock end. There's nothing you can do about that. That's just his walk.
It's what happens when you ride a horse long for 6 hours.
Kind of marches. Like, there's nothing you can do about that. That's always going to be there. But yeah, it was one of the films where he took a little bit of a step back, and without going too much into spoilers, his story in it is quite.
If it was out in the 50s, you don't have to worry about spoilers. I don't think, bro.
No, but like, so he plays.
Oh no, I might watch it eventually at some point.
Yeah, just watch it.
I feel like it's going to be a Sunday thing for me. I'll definitely give it a try.
I was going to say, it sounds like a hangover like film.
So
I mean,
tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning, when I wake up at 10, after the dogs have been out, and I'm like, oh, I can't start drinking yet. It's not respectable.
Yeah,
it's got watch a film and then start drinking.
Yeah, it's got Maureen O'Hara in it as well. She plays like his love interest. She's like the red-haired Irish woman who's not difficult to look at in the slightest little bit. She can act and stuff. Like, it's just watch it. It's good.
I will. I think I might watch it. So, and Vicky pointed out like she likes that film a second ago in the comments and stuff.
Oh, did she? Cool. Yeah. Vicky will like it because Vicky likes Donovan's Reef as well, which is another John Wayne film that I fucking love. That's away from the Western type films. Yeah.
Good. Very good. Well, I've not seen it, but it sounds interesting. I will give it a whirl. My mum used to obviously maybe not this caliber of film, but my mum did enjoy the obviously the classic John Wayne films, the Western films, and I used to watch them as a kid. You know, screaming for Indians to be killed, as they would cast. You know, before kind of understanding better when I grew up.
Yeah, before understanding about cultural diversity. And origin.
I would scream, "Kill those Indians!" as a child. My mum would think that's perfectly acceptable, and then I grew up to know better. So there we go. That's my regret. But
the ignorance of youth.
The ignorance of youth. Yes, indeed. Okay, Mike, what's your pick of the week, pal?
Oh, I've gone back to the man, the myth, the legend that is Nicolas Cage.
Oh my God.
But this time I've not gone for I'm not gone for the 90s. Let's do as much cocaine as possible, then get on camera. Cage. I've gone for the late. The 1987, I've not got the money to do great coke, but I can still afford all right coke. Nicolas Cage in Arizona Rising, it's incredible. Like, from start to finish, it's the Coen Brothers before they was known as the Coen Brothers. I want to say it was like when they were still being like this weird little art house brothers. What made just strange, weird stuff, what made no sense. Even though they wrote it and produced it, they wouldn't put themselves down as the directors, even though there was no one else behind the camera. That type of case. But top and bottom of it, if you want to see the best odd couple, an ex-con and an ex-cop meet up, fall in love, can't have a baby, and then they get a baby. Oh, what hilarity ensues in between that. It's what more do you need than Nicolas Cage baby napping someone? Nicolas Cage kidnapping a quint, like a quadruplet or whatever, like there's 4 or 5 of the little bastards, and then saying it's his own kid and on the run. It is fully entertaining, and I think it's where he discovered that he can go as mental on camera and no one would stop him. This was a Stephen King moment where he went, oh, no one will rein me in. I can be as hammy as possible. And that's where it started from. And that is why he is a god.
On the flip side of that, though, it's the one where he went from being almost normal actor to batshit crazy. And the one where the Coen brothers went from batshit crazy to kind of mainstream. Like, it was their crossover and his crossover in totally opposite directions.
Yeah. I mean, I would say Miller's Crossing. Miller's Crossing a couple of years later was the big one, because that was when they went, oh, we can make stuff look really, really pretty as well as be really, really wordy. Like, that was when they went, this is when we can make our own weird subgenre of film. But I think that's where they started to understand the power of letting an actor do what an actor wants to do.
Yeah.
Like literally, if you look at the work before that, it feels very scripted. Like literally, everything's been planned. When in that film, it's hard to predict what Cage you're gonna get in what scene. Like half of it feels like they've just gone right. So here's point A, here's point B. I don't care how you get there, but make it entertaining.
Yeah, but it's the
And Nicolas Cage has gone, okay. and that is
so there is every chance that they just went, go for it. We'll just film it 10 lines, film it 10 times, and we'll pick the best one.
Yeah, we'll pick the one what fits the story best.
Yeah,
that's why it really feels like they've just gone right. Let's just get you as proud as possible in 20 minutes. Right, and then
you're making a Cage fan out of me. I was I still can't find the fucking the Friday Night Freddy's thing that he did. What's it called?
Willy's Wonderland.
Willy's Wonderland, still the best named film ever.
It's out apparently, but I can't find it anywhere. I tried
it was out on VOD on the 12th. I've still not watched it yet because I've not been able to find it, but I think it'll be going to Shudder. I would imagine pretty soon. But if you've got illegal ways of watching content, you can definitely find it.
Yeah, it's definitely on not legal places, but I'm sure it might be on Prime or somewhere stupid like that as well.
I know it went on to VOD on the 12th.
Mike, if you find it, shout me and I'll come to yours and watch it. We'll have a night, definitely, because I'm very interested in that film. I've heard many mixed reviews, but it's something I think it's going to be stupid fun. And I think
you need to watch it in the right frame of mind.
It's on Amazon Prime at £5.99.
There you go.
Nice one. Yeah, Amazon Prime. I'll pay, mate. It'll be on me. Alan, get yourself down there if you can, mate. But
I'll watch that because it's just 5 nights. Yeah, it's just 5 nights at Freddy's, isn't it? It's just that shit game, but with Cage, with a non-speaking part.
No, he does speak in it. It's just in that trailer. He doesn't need to.
No. Apparently doesn't. He says one thing in the whole film.
I love that.
He says one thing in the whole film.
He's the modern day Daniel Day-Lewis without the credibility.
Yeah.
All the talent.
Yeah. But all the cocaine.
He shags a pink. There's a lot.
I feel like Daniel does a bit of coke.
Yeah.
It depends if the film that he's going to make had cocaine about at the time, Joe. He's very method. Yeah, otherwise, he'd just be doing laudium or whatever.
If Daniel Day-Lewis was in like Trainspotting, he'd be a heroin addict. Like there's no two ways about it. Like he is that method. He's that guy. But every film he's in, he gets fucking nominated for an Oscar. So
how many has he actually won? Has he won 3 or 4?
No, I think he's been nominated for 4. I think he's won 3. He got My Left Foot. He got Lincoln.
Go on, the good one, the best one. Something to do with milkshake. Oil drilling.
Oh shit! No Country for Old Men.
Which is a Coen Brothers film.
So I think he's nominated for because he got nominated for the.
Alan, I'm surprised it took you that long to get there.
Yeah, all right.
It's all right. I was laughing just because I decided to spit booze everywhere.
It puts me in a really tranquil place, No Country for Old Men. It puts me in a really nice place, which I don't know if it's sick or not.
I drink Joe milkshake.
My therapist is saying it's not good.
Don't feel like that.
Oh, no. If you relate to Daniel Day-Lewis in that film in any way, shape, or form, you're probably a bit of a dick.
Not necessarily Daniel Day-Lewis, just the film in general just puts me in a very tranquil state of mind.
By tranquil, do you mean uneasy?
I mean, like, I can sleep quite well, yeah. But horror films do that with me as well. Maybe I shouldn't say this live.
Maybe you shouldn't say it at all.
Maybe we shouldn't have a counselling session live, on YouTube.
Yeah. The other day,
it feels more like an intervention. To be fair,
I had like the best night. I watched The Exorcist, and I had the best night's sleep. Literally, I felt.
In all fairness, which version of The Exorcist was it? Was it the edited one or the one with the crab down the stairs?
The crab walk. Yeah,
that's the only one I ever remember seeing.
Well, that was the one what was released in the late 80s after it had been banned for like 15 years in the UK.
Yeah, I only remember seeing that one. I've never seen another one. I just remember watching that as a kid, like
punching the walls, and then you see like the Satan fucking statue appear for no reason. It's great. Love it.
With zero, no plan.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just there. Yeah.
No one brought it in. A priest just randomly pushing it in.
Yeah,
just in case we need it.
It flashes up and then it disappears, and apparently that was enough to disturb millions of people. But whatever, we're not talking about the American audience today. My pick of the week. So I was juggling between two of them, and I think one of them might be the pick of the week for next week. So I'm going to. It's been a bit of an obscure one today. My one is a bit more mainstream, so I think many people would have seen it. However, it is one I watched the other day. Forgot how beautiful it was and how well told it was and how brutal it was. So, and I think I mentioned it on our pick of the weeks last year. But my one's going to be Guillermo del Toro's Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh.
It's just a special film, isn't it?
There's nothing
from start to finish.
Guys, have you guys watched it this year?
No.
Last time I watched it was about 9, 10 months ago.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's longer than that for me.
Yeah, so I'm kind of in the same boat as Alan there. I mean, last time I watched it was maybe a year and a half ago, maybe longer. And I stuck it on. I've got my Guillermo del Toro collection. I thought I've not seen this in a while. I stuck it on, and I just fell in love with it again. I was like, how have I not watched this in this long? This is such a beautiful film. Well put together. It's up there for interpretation. How you perceive this film is up to yourself. It leaves the story open for you, but at the same time, the story that you follow is just beautiful.
I have one question about Del Toro. Do you think he's the perfect person to make Fantasia if Disney was to ever do it again?
No, because Disney should never do it.
Wait, hold on. Wait. As in, like the adaptation to classical music?
No.
Yeah. Well, that okay. Maybe not that one. Okay. Snow White, maybe. He could probably get him away with Snow White.
All Fantasia is painting songs, so no. But Snow White.
I'm trying to think of the darker, weirder stuff that Disney did. What he could work with.
Del Toro would be brilliant for Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, Sleeping Beauty. I think he could do
for Sleeping Beauty. Snow White, I would say no. Anything outside, I'd probably say Sleeping Beauty is just woodsy enough. Is just kind of alternative enough without being too.
Is it because it's close enough to what he's done in Pan's Labyrinth?
I think it's
fantasy style.
I think already, Sleeping Beauty is one of the ones that doesn't follow tradition. All the trees in Sleeping Beauty are square. Obviously, they're all cubed. If you ever noticed it, they're all square. So it's already an obscure story. There's no rationale for this. It just is in this fantasy land. And it starts off with. I think her name's Aurora, who the princess is, and she goes off into the woods, and that's where she meets the Prince Charming. But even that is a little bit like as a child, you look at it and think, oh, it's beautiful. She's just walking off into the woods. Del Toro could turn this into 1,000 different things. He could make this beautiful but sinister at the same time. Square trees you wouldn't even feel that it's out of place in a story like that. Think about the story.
Just the way Charming approaches Aurora is very weird because he watches her for a bit and she's singing about I know you, I danced with you once upon a dream, and then he goes and she's like, I shouldn't speak to strangers, and he's like, but you know me because you danced with me once upon a dream. Yeah, I met you in a dream.
It sounds like one of my pickup lines. It sounds like one of my
I didn't say it first, Nick, but
but even that in itself is almost kind of predatory, in the classic Disney way of them just being weird as fuck.
Yeah,
like absolutely. It's really kind of predatory. So like
she's so naive that she
could play on that. Yeah, and she's so just like, oh yeah, okay, yeah.
It's only because he heard this song. It's not like they did meet in a dream because it's Disney and everything's magic. He just heard her singing this song, so right, here we go.
Yeah,
I've got a way in here.
That man just fucking tapped her phone and listened to what she liked and went, yeah, I like that too. Like
Yeah,
he
I like that
fucking
too.
fully honey trapped that bitch.
Do you know that song you was just singing about? Yeah, that's where I met you.
Yeah,
That dream.
that thing. That's me,
Yeah,
innit?
yeah.
Me and you, innit?
fairness-
Me and you.
In fairness, the dude killed a dragon for her. I mean, that's love. You know, I mean, that dragon was fierce. He battled through thorns.
Is it love or is it lust? Because he just wants to get laid, doesn't he?
But would you want to get laid that much? Cut your way through thorns to battle a witch that turns into a dragon.
It's like fucking 1800s or something. Like whatever. Like no one's getting laid. Are they?
He can fuck whoever he wants in the kingdom.
He's not fucking coming to America, mate. It's like he's not getting someone washing his cock every night.
Mate, he'll go, mate.
Prince.
Yes, I know, but he can still just do whatever he wants. He can just do whatever he wants. He goes, listen, it's a new law that, you know, every new fit maiden needs to do this thing. You know what I mean? Tell me that this is it. You know, but at the end of the day, he could do this, but there has to be an element of love there, surely.
I don't know, you know.
Dragon, no falling fire-breathing dragon, brother. Would you fight?
I don't get it.
Fight a fire-breathing dragon to save Debbie?
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, but that's
Would you cut yourself like through thorns to get to this dragon?
okay. Let's put this into context. Would I fight a fire-breathing dragon for Debbie now, a woman of 19 years in a relationship that I'm married to, that loves the bones of me, that loves every part of me, even though I'm an absolute twat? At least 50% of the time.
What do you mean, no?
And then,
that's generally what he's going to say.
And I have 2 kids with, right? So she's giving me 2 kids. Yes, 100%. I would fight my way through absolutely ever. I'd throw myself in front of a bullet for that woman. Me and Debbie,
you've got a sword and a horse.
Yeah, I would fight my way through anything. I'd throw myself in front of a fucking bus for her. However, me and Debbie, after 2 weeks of a relationship, when she was asleep when we first met, now, mate.
You just try and weirdly kiss her while she's asleep, then sneak off.
I'm gonna be like weirdly like I've slipped you something now you're asleep and I'm gonna kiss you, yeah, because I'm a raper. Like nah, mate, that is not the same.
I think I've got one thing what we should talk about. We covered Disney quite a lot, and you messaged us the Cruella de Vil poster with Emma Stone.
Yeah.
And my first reaction to it was, are they literally just making every old Disney film live action to get rid of the bits that they're not proud of in the past?
What could they not be proud of about Cruella de Vil apart from the fact she likes to slaughter animals?
I mean,
this is the thing. I don't want to watch a film like going, do you know what you need to do? Slaughter puppies. But she's going to have a change of heart and go, oh, but clever. That's what it's going to be like. I can use clever instead of like it's
like backstory. So basically, it's meant to be a redeeming story, like Maleficent. Like another.
That's what I'm saying. She's going to use clever instead of animal carcasses.
I don't get that. I don't think it's a redeeming story. I think this is just her being a badass bitch.
Do you think it's a prequel to 101?
Yeah. So I think it's her development into the fact that she's just a piece of shit. Like the whole film is just that some people are born bad and they are just bad. But having said
it's Disney.
I was going to say, Alan, it's Disney.
I get that. Well, that's what it should be. But
in our world, Alan, in our world, it'd just be Cruella being an awful cunt for 2 hours, and at the end of it, we can go. What told you?
What? She's not got Dalmatians. She's slaughtered an elephant. She wants a grey tracksuit. Like,
my film would open with Cruella finding Pongo running around in a park and cutting his throat. That's how it would start, just so we get the essence of her character.
I'd like them to redo that episode from The Simpsons where it's Burns celebrating all the animals that he's killed, and he's got the gorilla vest and stuff like that. Yeah. It's just like 2 hours of what animals she's killed for what clothes.
Like I say, we didn't. We didn't get a Dumbo 2 because Cruella's wearing his ears as parachute pants.
Yeah, I'm down. I'd rather have that, but it's Disney, so we know it's more likely going to be like she understands she doesn't have to kill animals to make clothes, and that's literally the whole thing's going to be about.
Disney does not back its villains. I'm going to say that. I don't know if I'm the first person ever, but Disney does not back it. Disney, you wrote these villains, yeah? You came up with these people. You wrote these villains.
Be terrible.
Incredible, yeah? You wrote fucking Maleficent. You wrote Scar, yeah? Own your shit. You know what I mean? Stop trying to these people.
Stop being pussyholes about it all.
Disney's trying to make everyone relatable.
Disney, stop being pussyholes. Yeah, because at the end of the day, yeah, it just makes the other films completely invalid. They're absolutely... They don't matter.
I can only hope someone's ever going to crop just those 3 seconds of us all saying that about Disney. Just back your villains. Just let the guy that killed Bambi's mum, let him kill Bambi. Fucking both.
Let this guy go out.
He's got to save the family.
Let this guy go on his trophy. That's his life.
In the time when Bambi was made, he was not killing Bambi's mum for a trophy. She had no antlers. That wasn't going on his wall.
Yeah,
that was feeding his kids.
Venison. Bit of venison. Venison backstrap. Some nice roasts.
Bambi would be a trophy.
No, Bambi grown up would be a trophy. Yeah, but Bambi's mum,
as a stag.
Bambi's mum was just fucking dinner.
Yeah. Man got...
He just fed his kids, man. Like, he wasn't a villain. He's not a real guy.
We need to do like a Disney villain thing because we need to
do that for next week.
Justify some of this shit.
Right, so let's do that for next week. Let me just end on this for Maleficent.
No, it's not Maleficent. We weren't talking about that.
Cruella. That few actors in the world, I feel like Emma Stone is above most actresses in my listing of who I think is ridiculously attractive and can also act. Emma Stone's up there in at least the top 5.
Wait. Hello.
I've not watched it.
The film that she had to apologise for. That means that...
But that she came out and apologised for it and then referenced it in a Saturday Night Live sketch and took the piss out of herself, redeemed her in my eyes. I just went, okay.
No. She's just like, I can drive more people to go and watch that film and I'm going to make more money.
No, she didn't.
Americans.
It's just like, I will just be Hawaiian. Look, I'm a really convincing Hawaiian person. Like, that was just the fit. That was what she did. But anyway, I love her. Absolutely love her.
Is there a reason why you like her or not?
What the fuck?
Yes. Yes.
Nah, that ain't it.
She sticks by your guns.
I absolutely love her. But anyway, I love Emma Stone. Yeah. I love Emma Stone because that is just an opinion and not fact about that person. So yes, I love Emma Stone, but having said that,
she's a racist.
This film can fuck off.
Is it because she's racist that you love her or not?
I don't feel like she is racist, so that is not a contributing factor to the way I feel about her.
I don't feel like you've answered the question.
Yeah, no, I have actually answered the question in full.
Is it because she's a racist that you enjoy Emma Stone's work? Yes, or no?
She is. That she is a racist for debate, and I don't feel like she is.
No, I get it. He just enjoys her racist work.
Oh, right.
I get it.
Being a racist. Right. We get it. Wow. So, sorry, what was you saying about this? So, she's the best actor in your opinion. She's a racist, and you don't like Idris Elba. Is that what you're basically saying?
Who's the better actor? Idris Elba or Emma Stone?
Emma Stone.
So this person that we've all agreed is racist.
Nah, we haven't all agreed that she's a racist. That is not a thing that's
Alan,
Nick, you've got to take the rap if we get sued.
I swear to God, I hope she fucking sues you, because I am saying she is not a racist. I would like to meet her for a drink. It'd be lovely. We'd have a chat. It'd be fun. She's not a racist in the slightest little bit. You're saying she's a horrible cunt, which she is absolutely not. And then asking if she is a better actress than...
Hey, you didn't say... in all fairness, we didn't say she was a twat. We just said she was a racist. Yeah.
That's not the same.
You said that she was a racist, and then you said you'd like to meet her for... That's what I heard. Amy say she's a racist, and then you say you'd like to meet her for a drink, and that she's a better actress. It's out there. For some reason, it's just out there. Actually.
If you want to edit this
guys,
video,
I just realised why we're never going to make any money from doing this.
You spend far too much time concentrating on making me look like a prick.
Alan's really offended. Like, Alan, we're really sorry.
Calm down, Alan. You sounded like Jim Carrey. I am not sounding like Jim Carrey. I did not say that Emma Stone is only talented because of her looks. Like, I did not Jim Carrey all over.
Racism as well. Exactly. I think that's established already.
Nah, just wait a second. Is she only good looking because she's white?
No.
Just making sure.
That's not it. And you both know how I feel about a multitude of races. So let's not do that.
Mate, the fact that you'd happily go out for a drink with a racist, I'm a bit shocked at.
She ain't a racist though, is she?
When did you meet her to establish this?
He's talking about Mel Gibson, not Emma Stone.
Yeah. I'd argue that's anti-Semitic, but you know.
But one and the same.
One and the
You're
same.
saying there's a difference between that type of racism to another type of racism.
It's not a race; it's a religious belief. So there is a difference.
Jewish. You can be Jewish as a race.
Really?
Yeah.
Race is colour, but religion is...
No. Why? Alan, think about what I do for a job. Why are you arguing for? Anyway, big up all my Jewish brothers and sisters. I'm not being sexist.
Not being sexist.
Any religions, actually. I don't like. It's not like I believe in them, but if you're religious, fair play.
I really hope this is our most viewed Red Line picture. I hope a whole bunch of people just go, "What are they about?" And then
I really hope a whole bunch of people message you after and go, "You're a dick," you know. Like,
which one? Me or Nick?
I feel more Nick in this one.
Oh, but the black guy.
Generally, also.
Yeah, the black guy. The black guy's the bad guy.
I'm asking most of the questions. Fair enough. It kind of makes sense. All right. Okay. So let's so, guys, thank you very much for tuning into another Red Line.
Wait a second. One second before we go. It's the Premier Battles event tomorrow. Do you want to run through who's going to win, lose, draw?
There's only 4 battles, isn't there?
Yeah. Mav versus Bobby. Maverick versus Bobby Rex. First up.
Bobby.
See, Bobby without a crowd, I think his pen isn't as intricate as Maverick's. Maverick without a crowd's not going to... You're not going to be able to tell the difference with Maverick with a crowd and Maverick without a crowd. His technical level's not going to change. Why did Linda say that? I didn't read it. Put it back up.
There we go.
It was all apparently.
There you go.
I feel like
I'm putting that on a t-shirt. Alan says.
Yeah. It's all Al's fault.
My fault. Of course it is. I think that just kind of backs up what you said. But anyway, sorry, Mike. Please continue.
I don't feel like that backs up what we said. I feel like that's Linda just laughing at you the most she's ever laughed at you.
No, yeah, I said it, not Nick. So it's all right.
Again, but
Bobby Rex versus Maverick. First up.
Yeah, Bobby. I feel like Mav's only had a couple of decent battles recent. Like everyone said he came back, but I didn't. I don't know. I don't feel like he came back for like 2 battles.
I get that.
Bobby's been
honestly,
about like and consist more. Bobby's more consistent than Mav, and yeah, I get that Mav's pen is more intricate and possibly better. But
I don't know how you can say that. How you can say that when like Bobby's had maybe 10 times the amount of battles. Exactly. It's literally only because Mav's been cancelled on that many times because people duck.
Oh, is that why? I don't say it. Is that why?
Well, after how many battles have you seen Mav? Like 2, 3?
Yeah.
2.
Yeah,
right. And has he done?
It's ridiculous.
Right, and that's with how much ring rust in between battles with people ducking and cancelling, and I think he's more used to a place without a crowd reaction. Because like battling on Dub Scandal and stuff like that, fair enough, you're gonna get Joe like the lads bared up in the pub, that type of reaction, but you're not gonna get Joe a good 400, 500 people going mental.
Yeah,
like Bobby's used to. So it's the thing is there not being a crowd going to affect, because if it was on a big stage with a crowd, I think I'd quite clearly have Bobby. Like. I don't know if, well, I would always give Mav 1 round against Bobby because Bobby knows he's got 2 rounds what he needs to make an impact with a crowd, and he goes first and third constantly when he's got a crowd there. There is big, the ones where everyone seems to engage more. It's going to be his first and his third. Whereas Mav's writing is consistent no matter what round it is. Like his first round and his third round could be interchangeable. His second round could go first. Like his round content is always going to be of the same caliber, and that's in a small room where you don't have to where crowd reactions aren't going to be a factor what can sway people. I think that is going to be the biggest factor in this battle, and I think Mav is better suited for no crowd. That is just literally me. This is the one what I thought about the most out of the whole card.
Yeah. It's honestly not one, but maybe that is because I've seen more of Bobby than I've seen of Mav. And I've seen more, obviously, because of that, I've seen more Bobby being not great. But the saturation of Bobby, I feel like hampers his writing as well.
At the time, I mean, if you went back 2 years ago, like the fact that he's not really battled in a year and a half,
which is exactly why I just went Bobby straight away, because he's had such a massive break that he's saved all this writing up that he'll have still been doing right the way through the break, and he'll have just saved up a load of kind of generic bars that he can adapt to Mav that'll be just fucking fire. So
I hope so. I mean,
really punchy.
I think out of all 3 of us, we all have like a proper soft spot for Bobby.
Yeah,
being like a mank, and Nick hanging about with manks, like a lot. It's just like it's a natural thing. You fall into that pattern. Whereas what you find funny is what you find funny, and if you're northern from the northwest, you're gonna find fucking Bobby funny. No matter what he says, he's fucking funny.
He literally only needs to say, "You're a cunt, mate," and we all laugh. Or me and you.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Like that's all he needs. But he can be so much more than that. And when he is, like with the lights against when he was battling Soul,
in Atma.
Yeah. There are levels to Bobby's game that people miss because of his stage presence and because he reacts to the crowds and because he puts on a persona where he shows off a little bit and he's Billy Big Bollocks. Without a crowd, he won't have that impeding his pen.
Yeah,
if you know
I get that. Like that's the one. I think that's definitely going to be a headliner of the event. Like, there's no question there, is there? I mean, Sam hypes Pedro is the next one. What jumps to mind as being like close at the moment. I don't know who I can call.
I don't know.
I think
Pedro just couldn't go off at any point on any kind of tangent and just be weird as fuck.
It's again, the lack of crowd is going to hamper Pedro, because if you take away the hilarity of everything he says out of the room, and he just says, "Oh, like a red banana," and there's no fucking reaction, everyone's going to go, "What the fuck's that guy going on about?" Especially if they're American and it really doesn't rhyme in his fucking accent for what they're used to. It's going to be wild, but he does have that wild it factor where he can do something within 20 seconds of a battle, and that's enough for you to go, well, yeah. It's no matter what Sam said, he's not been more entertaining than he's been in 20 seconds of a freestyle flip.
Yeah, I've been in the room for one Pedro battle, and it was ridiculous. Just the stuff he came out with, just on like, and was it a freestyle battle? It was a freestyle battle against Zen. And it was ridiculous. Like, some of the stuff that he came out with on freestyle was better. Some of the pre-written of the talent that we had on that stage. I think it was the first All-Star card, wasn't it? Or was it the last match day of the season?
I think it was the first All-Star card, because it was Wendell and Loso when everyone was there, weren't it?
It was just a lot of information to get that had just like kind of just come out of his head on the back of nothing. It was weird.
Drugs on the back of drugs. Drugs. Just do as many drugs as you can. And
but weird that on that, even if it is drugs, on that amount of drugs, if you could be that intelligent and far quicker than most people think sober, what the fuck is going on in your head when you're sober?
Drugs.
It would.
Okay, moving on from that one. Nick, have you got the rest of the battles there? I think there's only two other ones.
Yeah.
I say Bizzo Bond versus. I looked at him just before I fucking come on as well. It's gonna piss
Sorry,
me off.
mate. So we got
someone we know
versus Joker Star, Mackenzie.
Oh, there you go.
Bizzo and
Mackenzie
Joker.
Briggs and
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
go on.
It's Joker Star's up tomorrow, so it's Joker Star Briggsy.
No,
Is it?
I'm Mackenzie Briggs.
Mackenzie Briggs, so Scottish Mackenzie.
Today.
Not battled in about a year, from my knowledge, unless he's been battling on iron bars. I've not really paid attention. Every time I've seen him, he's been entertaining, but I think Briggs is the most underrated battle rapper in the UK.
I was going to say, I don't know Mackenzie, but I know Briggs there, so Briggs is winning.
Generally, I think Briggs is the most underrated battle rapper in the UK. Like,
yeah, not because I know him, and like that not being like a dickhead, but just because I know him and I know how talented he is. Like, Briggs is winning. There's I would put Briggsy up against pretty much.
Don't get me wrong.
And say he's
Don't
winning.
get me wrong. Mackenzie, when I think I've seen once live, and a couple of obviously like the stuff what he's had out on Don't Flop and stuff. I think he's a dark horse, more like Acre, who we saw at the Leeds battle event, which you didn't go to. Nick went to. Do you remember it?
Yes.
You weren't fucking listening.
I was at Leeds. I was in Leeds. Yeah.
Who was battling though? At Leeds, who did you see? Who do you remember?
He was ill. Leave him alone. Stop bullying him.
Alan's trying to do the same thing I did with him with racism.
Why do you support him?
This is what. What?
Why do you support him when he's being a dick to me, and then when I go, who do you remember, when he clearly doesn't, because he wasn't
because
listening?
If I don't support the black guy, I'll get called racist like you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go.
I've yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Alan, why are you trying to victimize me?
I don't know, mate. I can't help it. It's just in my it's in my every fibre of my being, apparently.
Yeah, to try and victimize the black guy.
Here's the rest of the battlers then. We've got two down.
So so we got Bobby and we got Sam, and then
so my in fairness, because of the face-off, the battle that I'm most looking forward to filming tomorrow is the Georgie Roots Celeste.
Yes.
Just because
That is,
if you watch the face off today.
that is the best of the two newcomers in the last 2 years. Like,
Did you guys see the face off?
I haven't seen the face off yet,
not
but I've
Georgie Roots, I swear down. I mean, this guy is super confident. Celeste was just, okay, you talk cool shit, mate. I'll show you what I can do. I am excited. This, I like for the face-offs that I watched today. I watched Briggsy McKenzie at the start. Shout out to White Hat, shout out to King of the Dot. But when I watched Briggsy McKenzie, I was like, yeah, these guys are experienced. They're talking about what they can bring to it, how they respect each other to an extent, and effectively what they can expect for the future of the Anarchy battle. Georgie Roots and Slasher was not that at all.
Well, I would expect that though. After as we saw Georgie live at the place around the corner from the studio. What?
Yeah, so we did the
the live event around there, and that was the first time I've ever seen him, and that was the best Jan we've seen. Right?
Oh, without doubt.
And he got mopped up. To me, he got mopped up. Like, literally, he was like him stepping in the ring with a full-on season, battler. It weren't even close. And then...
How long's Georgie been doing it?
I want to say only about a year and a half, maybe that.
Yeah, I'd say I was over the 2-year mark, but yeah, maybe just slightly less. But he's not doing it as long as Jan has.
He's got the Battle League Beast Angular, which he does with the other battler. The one that has foot police on his arm instead of foot the police.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Nelly.
They've got that Beast Angular league. So they're doing ground
Mate, shouts to Kick Nelly as well, man. I rooted for the whole thing. Like, this guy, he should have got through.
Really?
I liked his fucking weird quirkiness. But this is the thing. I said mate, my opinion means zero in battle rap. I'm there because I can. If I could,
you shouldn't feel like that. Your opinion on battle rap should be your opinion on art. Mate, your opinion's never wrong.
I know, it's not the wrong reasons, right? So Briggsy's one of my best mates, and when it comes to anything Premier Battles, he always asks for my opinion, but he takes it with, I wouldn't say a pinch of salt. He takes it with most of the ramekin. Like the stuff that would entertain me wouldn't entertain it's not what the crowd wants. It's just shit that I would like to see, just weird obscure battles and battle rappers. But it's because of the art form. I appreciate the alternative different art forms, and I like to see more of it. And so this is what I want to see, and he gets it. But he's like, yeah, no, that's not happening.
Don't get me wrong, if I was in any way, shape or form mental health able to judge tomorrow's battles, I think I would, but I am not in a fit shape to be able to take on the amount of bollocks for my opinion on an art form at the moment.
So anyone watching that, Mike was given the opportunity to effectively judge tomorrow, but he's declined it simply because of
my mental health, literally top and bottom. If I end up going to the event tomorrow and I go in and I'm asked, that might change in the spur of the moment. But when I was asked today, I was like, oh, that made me feel nervous. I started breaking out in fucking hives and shit like that. I was like,
because it's the problem though. Because most people that watch battle rap don't know you, whereas the people that
agree,
so the people that matter in battle rap or that matter in Premier Battles do know you, and there's a reason why you're asked to judge. Whereas the average fan doesn't understand that reason. So then when you make an informed decision, which is sound and logical and thought through and probably right, and it's not aligned with what they thought because they've got a favourite who they like and they want a fucking...
No, see, at the end of the day, he's go, spit a 16, and I'll go, no, I'm all right, thanks, bro. That's the end of it.
At one point,
understand what that is.
But at one point, Mike, I would say 2 years ago, Mike was one of the more respected judges, and in fact, what Briggs said is effectively an anomaly in battle rap history, simply because he was the only judge whose decisions were respected. or the only person whose decision was respected as a judge that wasn't a battler or has not been in that scene, because it was. People just respected your decision as a judge, but because you were effectively an immediate fan. And you got a lot of, and to be honest, you got a lot of traction from that. We as Red Lion got a lot of traction from that, and you were respected.
I get that, but I feel there is a difference when there's 2.5K on the line and there's that trip to Canada. And if, let's face it, I am a visitor to the scene, it's not where people will go, that's where he should be, because I don't rap, like, simple as that, but I understand the mechanics of it, and that's all it is.
That's all you need, though, because Linda, as far as I know, Linda doesn't rap, but she understands the mechanics of what makes a good battler and what wins battles. So
I would also argue that, yeah, I'd also argue Linda's never had more pushback than I have.
But Linda's not judged as many battles as you.
That's true. Like it is,
and on the battles,
it's partly like imposter syndrome kicking in, just because I've been off work for a while, so my mental health's in the gutter, and then there's this big pressure, and I'm like, oh, I don't need that. I can get drunk and make you your
yes, Linda, exactly that.
Mate, to be honest, I completely agree with what Linda says, but at the same time, I completely understand why Mike wants not.
It's not even that. If you go back through battle rap and you look at the big events in battle rap, being the WRCs or the Don't Flop birthdays or King of the Dot title chains or URL Gnome, whatever. Whenever there's been a judge across any platform, anyone who's not a rapper, a battle rapper, producer, is not going to get the same type of respect as someone who's just studied the art form as a fan. It's just not. Because he doesn't work. No, but it's because it doesn't work in the same way as a football referee or any sports referee. It doesn't matter, because people within the art form think that you can't understand the complexities of writing. Whereas any fan will just go, you prick.
Yeah.
Because all you have to do is see it and go, I understand that. But
no, I get
battlers are tetchy. Not a lot of UK battlers, but a lot of American battlers. But
I'll set a challenge now with confidence that anyone can watch any battle that you have judged and not agree with the decision that you've made on that battle.
No.
Visuals, Lester. I got a lot of pushback on that one.
No, don't do that.
Wait a minute.
No.
No, but what did you go with Visual Lester?
Visual.
Exactly. Which was the right fucking decision.
Not according to the worldwide audience.
Not according to the other two judges, but to everybody watching
Visual
that
won.
battle,
Visual won.
Even when we spoke to Lester, Visual won.
There's been times, mate. There's not many times where I've ever questioned Mike. There's been certain battles where I've gone, what? And it's been.
But I would always back my shit. I would always say I will back my shit on the day.
100% back it, but I can hold my hands up and say honestly that I've not completely agreed. Sorry, 2 seconds.
Actually, do you know what? I might do tomorrow, just to piss people off. Just a little bit. just a little bit. And just go, do you know what? I know I'm right because I'm Mike. And then that's the end of it.
But that is the end of it, though. Because that literally is.
Anyway, have we got, how many battles have we done? 2, 3? It's 4.
No, we've done all 4, didn't we?
Nick?
Oh, no, we didn't pick a winner between Georgie and Lester.
I think it's going to be Georgia, but it's going to be an entertaining day. And if I don't make it in the building, I'm going to watch the Twitch stream in this room probably, because Vicky won't want to hear me shouting at a bunch of random nerds. But yeah, come watch it. Get drunk.
Yeah. Deal.
Nick?
8 o'clock tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah, on it.
Back in 1 second.
Nikolai.
Oh shit! Oh, we're live and it's just you and me. All right, go on
we're
then.
live and it's just you and me, and you went super quiet.
Sorry, mate. I'm messaging, mate. There's a lot of shit happening, man.
Well, I know you're working.
Apparently, got to give my attention to this fucking live podcast as well. Yeah. So here we are today. I'm joking. So have you done it? Have you done all the?
Yeah. So I said Leicester. Mike went Georgia. So you're kind of the deciding vote.
I don't think I can say.
Don't
think I'm allowed to.
Don't be like
I feel like both. I think it will be a very interesting battle. I'm excited to see what will happen.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it because Lester's been great. Georgie was fucking great when we saw him. So Lester's leveled up every time we've seen him. I think he's just got better and better and better.
Hey.
It's Leicester.
I would argue his last battle, which he won, wasn't his best.
I didn't see that though. So every time I've seen him, he's got better.
Right, so it is up. It was up 2 weeks ago. The battle against Chester Black on YouTube. In the room, parts of it felt awkward. On recording, parts of it felt even more awkward. Like he ended his first round really weird, which might have worked with a crowd, but when you're filming with 10 people in the room and half of them are battlers, it's not going to fucking work.
So he won the academy, right? Against Jester.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's not what I expected to happen. I forgot.
He choked. Jester choked, didn't he? In his third.
I don't know. I've not watched.
Oh, is it second?
I didn't realise that. I just expected that Chester was going to win it all.
No, well, I phoned you the day after it. Like from outside at me. Well, I was. I don't know if you were. I don't know. Nick's looking very bored though, so let's fuck off so I can carry on drinking.
Nick's working.
With my wife.
Mate, I'm fucking trying to sort out shit from tomorrow. I'm getting messages now.
Right, it's nearly 3 hours anyway, so let him go and work in peace.
What's going on? So yeah, everyone's gonna do great tomorrow. I've got big support for the whole scene. Let's get it done.
I hope not.
Let's get Anarchy done.
No, Tory. I thought we was going to get through a whole thing without a Tory impression.
Yeah. Anarchy done. I believe that anarchy today, Mr. Speaker, is a very important thing for us all to relate to. I believe.
I wouldn't be surprised if a Tory government come out and actually said, "I think anarchy is a good thing at the moment."
Yeah.
If you could riot. Obviously, if you can't riot, if you can't riot, don't riot.
If you wish to riot, then riot. As long as, Mr. Speaker, as long as for the anarchy scene. Most definitely. Right. Okay. So, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I have no idea what the fucking ending of this was about. But everything up until that point where we depicted Alan as a massive racist was hilarious. So if we can get more of that in the next. Alan, do you know, the thing about this, and people maybe tuning in for the first time watching this may not understand this. Of course he's not. And if you think he is, anything less than a lovely bloke, then he's fucking. I'm his boss, right? He work for a black guy, all right? This is like the reverse of slave trade, as far as right? So he wouldn't work for me if he was a racist. So he's not. But we like calling him a racist because he's got a skinhead and he has racist views. That's all. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in once again. Make sure that you tune in.
If any barbers watching this in Manchester, let me know so you can come and cut my fucking hair with my beard.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, I'm going to be wearing a fucking devil lock until like October.
Let's just finish on a couple of things. Look how naturally Toriness comes to Nick, shaking my head. Proper Tory. Linda, eventually we will get
you a proper Tory.
Flat you're living in and onto the streets, and then I will buy your flat and rent it out to poor people.
I feel like why don't we get Linda on as a guest next week?
I think
I was thinking we should get her on for a guest for the last WandaVision.
I think we should. Yeah,
right, okay.
That's WandaVision.
So there's the last WandaVision. There's going to be 6 of us. That'll be the 3 main people that have been commenting, and us 3.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I'm onto it. Right, I'm into it. Yeah.
Right, and we will have to have the weeks, and we will have to have the same alcohol. It's going to be great. We'll make a bit of a red line pie or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm drunk right now. I don't
know.
Because
we can definitely.
I've run out of Prosecco already.
Have you drunk the whole bottle of Prosecco?
Mate, Nick, this is how much red wine I've got left. Like, there's where the label is there. Can you see the fact?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can see it shaking. Oh my god.
Yeah,
mate. I've poured like a half pint of fucking rum and lemonade, and I finished my cider, and I finished 2 G&P and rhubarb. I mean, we're fairly drunk, lads. Well done. We don't really do this very often, but I want to say well done to the Red Line guys for getting as drunk as they possibly could. Come on, let's hear it. Let's hear it for the Red Line gang. As drunk as they possibly could. I think this may have to be
Jerry.
Right, make a note of the date and time. This is probably have to be the drunkest we've ever got on the Red Line stream, and we are absolutely pissed right now. So, guys, thank you very much for tuning in and staying with us. We've had loads of fun, guys. On a serious note, thank you very much for tuning in. Literally, it's just us talking. People are tuning in for free.
Everyone, go to Mortality _UK on Instagram and buy my shit. Nick's done some. Alan hasn't bought any of my stuff yet, though. So fuck that guy.
Has Alan bought anything yet?
Nah.
Mike, did you receive my receipt for the last buy that I got? Have Mortality received that yet? Yeah, I got you, bro. I'll always have Mortality's back. Alan,
2 different things: a hoodie, a zip-up hoodie, and a vest.
That's nice.
Man, so not getting done, son. What have you got,
when you're not wearing it, can I lend it?
Yeah, I'll lend it.
Just bring it around whenever we're filming. Just share it.
That's my birthday present. I'm never going to wear it.
You wear the vest. I'll wear the
love, mate. Big up Mortality, mate. The shit that you've got is amazing. I know Briggs has bought some stuff as well. A lot of guys that are following the battle rap scene, and even if you're not movie fans or Red Line fans, just buy some of that merch, man. Because obviously
the Red Line, that Red Line Obey design, what Vicky did is
beautiful.
It is incredible for what we are.
Yeah.
To get it for free, because she's my wife, is even better. But go and buy it so we can drink more.
What? Anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. So I paid 100 quid.
No, you didn't. You didn't. You gave me 100 quid to come on board.
Guys, thank you very much for watching. Tune in next week. We'll talk the next episode of WandaVision. We'll conjure up some more stuff to talk about as well. If you guys have any ideas of what anything you want us to watch, anything you want us to talk about, anything that's happening in the movie scene that we might not be aware of, that you want us to talk about as well, make us aware of that. Any potential reasons why you think Alan's definitely a racist, give us those drops as well. Yeah, I mean, that'd be absolutely great. And any drinks that you'd like Mike to try and make. Big up Charles Lee Ray, Chucky, that we've got there as well. Guys, thank you very much for watching. From all of us, stay